Good morning, everyone. We are about to get started here. Give me 1 second. And the countdown is over my head.
It's like you were like
You
glasses.
can kind of see it.
Your mic is a little high.
Yeah, I'll move it in a second. Mm.
Hi there, I'm Jenna Blacker. And I'm Leon Garena. And our business is the Help Hustle Media. Jenna Blacker. And the Hot Hustle Media is really built spiritual business entrepreneurs who are really looking to communicate their brand better. I was a hypnotherapist and a nutritionist by trade, and I struggled and struggled and struggled. And once I figured that out, it changed everything. And we thought we would come and create this media company to really support spiritual business leaders specifically.
We've had so many accomplishments that we can be really excited about. We were, in fact, profitable within the first 6 weeks of our launch. We hit 20K in profits. Collaborations that we're working with is through the roof. Like the people that we are so divinely guided to be able to work with, and it's just been a joy, really.
I think the difference is that we sometimes leave out of the story, but we try to bring in the whole narrative, is that we both had these massive mystical experiences. And we can pretty much have these like kind of off the cuff conversations with almost anybody from galactic channels to spirit mediums and things like that.
All right, you guys, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm going to bring Adrian up and we are going to give you an official welcome and literally jump right in. But first, before we get started here, I do want to remind you this may be the last day of the week, but this is not the last day of the summit. We will continue next Tuesday with the modern alchemist Talon Foray, and it's a Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific.
So make sure that if you haven't already, be sure to get signed up to get all of the notifications that we do at howhustle.com/summit.
Thank you. All right, we are going to get started. Hi, Adrienne. Can you test your mic real quick?
Hi, Adriana.
Adriana. Well, I'm so glad you tested your mic.
Sound good?
Yeah, good. I'm glad. All right,
Let me start a new recording.
There we go.
Yes.
She's been saying your name correctly the whole time.
I have been. I should have been
camera went on.
I don't know. Yeah, put a camera on me and who knows what'll come out of my mouth. Especially this week. There we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jenna Blacker.
And I'm Leonka Reina.
This is the Hustle Mystic Morning Show. Today we're talking about avatar embodiment, and we are starting with human design with Adriana Keefe.
A couple words about Adriana. Adriana Keefe is the human design priestess and founder of the Magnetic Rebellion, a sanctuary for spiritual rebels and soul seekers. She guides women to reclaim their innate power, through ancient wisdom and modern intuition. As a 4/6 manifesting generator, she transforms lives through through her top podcast. Let me say this again. Her top 3% podcast, the No BS Human Design podcast, speaking in person events and intuitive mentorship, all while embracing life as a mom of three who quote every new girl episode. Do you have other human design people in the summit? Yes, we do not have any other human design people in the summit. Adriana, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. This is so exciting. I
It
haven't been in
is.
something like this for a while.
Well, yeah, and we really want to join your movement and have you join our movement and really play together in this community for sure.
Thank you.
It was funny. I think that you came across my desk and then I looked at your website and I thought, well, okay. But as soon as I dove any deeper past the front page, I was like, I love her. And I love when somebody can come across that great and actually get me to listen to them. And you not had that energy and that draw, but I was just like over the moon when I made the connection with you, which means that all the stars aligned in consciousness like wants us to play together.
Let me just say this. So when we had the question of, is there any other human design people in our summit? And honestly, we haven't had any other people talk about human design. Now, and here's the reason.
No.
Because we've been familiar with it, and it is the whole concept of, it was something that really helped me know that this everything is by our design and is mapped. But before that, I know Jenith had it always kind of in the background. She was like, I don't really do human design. Like I know,
because
she's never had.
I'll tell you why in a minute.
And
I take no offense. I did the same thing.
Okay, great.
And I think it's because she was going through your work and she was seeing how you spoke about it, and it really landed with her. And that's why she was so eager. She was like, Leonka, we've got to get her on. We've got to speak with her. See if you could contact her. And I was like, okay. And so then she reached out, and I guess I was taking too long. And I think it was divine timing. And I think you were the person that we were always meant to have speak about it, because you do it so eloquently and you break it down in a way that that is, I guess, more digestible. And for me, it had me know that we are all part of this bigger mapping. And it's fascinating when you look at all the different pieces as components of the sacred geometry and of, where we fall in alignment to the stars and astrology and the cosmos. It's fascinating when you take these pieces and the archetypes that they talk about in human design. So we're so excited to have you with all that to say.
Thank you so
I wanted
much.
to be sure to say that during your intro, because I think people have heard of human design, and I wanted them to know how special you are.
You have a different way of communicating it for sure.
Thank you. Probably because I also had that like anti-human design phase, or I was anti everything. I was like, stop, that's not real.
Yeah.
And here I am. Now I'm a priestess, so who knows?
I love it, right?
Well, it's like sometimes what you resist is actually what's calling you forth.
Exactly.
No.
Yep. It just showed me my edges. Yeah.
Well, for people who are not familiar with you, could you give us a little bit about how did you get into this work? I think people find that really inspiring, because many of us have had times have been like, and now I'm full on here.
Now I'm out and I'm proud. Yes. So long story short, before all the work I do now, I mean, I went to school for veterinary, so I have a very scientific brain.
Yes.
And when I was young, I had a lot of trauma, a lot of abuse, and I really disconnected from anything else out there. I mean, I grew up in a rather religious household, and I remember trying to read the Bible and just feeling like this isn't it. There's nothing there. So actually, the majority of my life, I considered myself agnostic or atheist. And I was like, nothing out there.
Yeah.
And then in my late 20s, which anyone who's familiar with astrology might understand, the Saturn return that I was in, I was pregnant with my second daughter. And everything from the outside looking in was fantastic. I mean, I had the great husband, the house, the family, the career, was winning awards for what I was doing at the time. Yeah, right. Yep. And I was like empty as I had nothing on the
Yes,
inside. I was just a
yes.
shell of a human.
Yes.
And that led me to hiring my first life coach and then business coaches. And, that whole
Uh-huh.
bowl went rolling. But one of the coaches, her name is Amina Altai. She's still a business coach. She is phenomenal, highly recommend. She introduced me to this thing called human design. And I was like, you can pull it up, but like I've taken the Enneagram, I've taken this and that. And I had different
Right.
Yes.
points of my life because I was so deeply conditioned. Not knocking personality tests. For those that they work really well. But for someone like myself who I didn't have my strengths or anything. So it didn't show me anything.
Right.
But she was like, no, I just put your birth information in. And I was like,
That's
okay, fine. And it pulled up this information saying that I was a manifesting generator. And that part resonated with me right away. I was like, wait, you're saying I have like this drunk butterfly energy and that I talk a lot and I'm too much. I was always sit down, you're being too much, you're too proud, you're too this, right?
yeah.
And so that resonated deeply. And I got a little curious. The more I went into it, that's where I started to hit my edges. And it said I was a line 4, which means you're a people person, you're a connector. And I was like, nope, not me. I literally went to veterinary school because I would say I don't have to talk to people if I work
Oh,
with
how
animals.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that made me leave for a little bit. And I was like, nope, this isn't right. But of course, it kept hitting me over the head. And it was just an area of who I am that I was covering up because of wounding. This is the conditioning that we all have, right?
Yes.
So I really started leaning in like hard. Actually, your friend Harmony Slater that you had on earlier this week was there around the time that I finally decided to take human design and make it a part of my business. We had a business coach and she was like, you know a lot about this. You should teach it. And I was like, no, no, no. And they all convinced me to. And here I am. I've never let it go. And I am the most powerful I've ever felt. I'm the most authentic. I mean, I can walk into a room and have a potty mouth like I usually do, but I don't care what people think about me for most part anymore. And it's just from what I'm told, a very magnetic energy. And I give other people permission to be the same, feel the same, do all that they actually want to do.
Yes.
Yes.
And you exude that in every way possible. And it is a delight to see it in this world, especially in the spiritual world, where there is so much of this unworthiness stuff.
Yes.
I'm assuming that was some of your archetype before you made this change. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
The unworthiness piece.
Yeah.
That is a forever journey, girl.
It is a forever journey.
In one of you, Lianka, you have a defined heart center. Jeneth, you have an open heart center. So what I'm going to say, you guys experience this differently. Open heart, Jeneth, you and I, self-worth and confidence and all of that. That's like a daily thing. We have to be mindful consistently of allowing our frequency to get into that of the like, I feel worthy, I am loved, I am deserving. Whereas someone like Lianka with what's called a defined heart center, not to say you never struggle with self-worth, but there's this innate like known power that you just exude out with confidence. So for me, it is an everyday journey. I don't think there's ever an arriving for someone with an open heart with self-worth. It is an everyday journey and evolution. And I just keep finding what works for me to show up in my power and feel confident. But no, it's not like a natural thing for me. Actually, when I went to a retreat last summer, we did this eye gazing experience. There was about 40 entrepreneurs there. And then we had to each say the words that we saw in the other person. And we went through about 4 or 5 different partners. And every single partner said to me they saw power. And I was like, why don't I see this power? Where's this power? The last 9 months have been me really being like, shoot, like that is power that I give. So we don't tend to see it ourselves.
Yeah, that's kind of awesome. And there's a big difference between a facade and who you actually are, too. And I do think that even yesterday we talked about cycling, your different cycles as a woman. I even feel like we probably have it that varies even different in our cycle. Yeah.
Very much. And
that's
even
great.
more so with
always changeable.
Yes. And I think both of you have your charts here. Let me look. Yeah, both of you have an emotional wave. So we are not consistently emotional. We go high, we go low, and that's going to
dictate.
Some days we wake up, we feel on top of the world. Other days we're like, why do I want to walk in front of a bus right now? And that is just
Yes.
how we're designed. And that screws it with our confidence a little bit. So we just have to understand what our body needs from us in those moments.
Hmm. Absolutely. Well, let's dive into this conversation on I like to use the word that we are avatars embodied.
Mm.
What is your feeling and vibe around what that means?
I love that because there's that whole saying of fake it till you make it,
Mm.
which I went back and forth on for a long time.
Okay.
And I will say, as of today, I do stand with that phrase more than
I
I
do
ever would
too.
before.
Me
Yeah.
too. And I just talked about this on this podcast.
Mm.
We did talk about this during the summit actually, and I am a fan of it now. Once you get past the faking it part, and look at it from just a different part, and actually maybe interchange it with the word of being. And even if you can't fully be that, maybe you put yourself into that, maybe the avatar embodiment, and you because we are created who
You
we most want to be, and so you can step out and be that, every single choice.
Mhm.
It's easier
Exactly.
said than done sometimes.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
think fake it till you make it is a little different frequency than avatar embodiment for sure.
Yes, I agree with that, completely agree with that. I'm
I
not
think
trying
it's
to say
like,
that's the
yeah,
same.
I think
Yeah.
it's like the way that most people would consider fake it till you make it. They think of like
Hmm.
forcing yourself to be a certain way or
Right.
Hmm.
slapping a
Or
smile on when that's not
right.
really authentic. I get what Leonka is saying, like it's like the who's your higher self and are you going to step into being her? And that's where the
Yes.
Yes.
avatar energy comes
Yes.
in. So
See
Uh-huh.
what I mean?
that's what I've been harnessing more of. Yep.
Love
Y'all
it.
see how she eloquently she put that, like I was trying. And I think that was, yes, that's exactly how I feel about it.
Yeah.
It is stepping into that higher self. And sometimes, I know my higher self and the one that I'm designing and the person that I know I can be, I see her as like working out and doing all these things. Sometimes it's a little bit like, I'm not too sure I want to do that.
Your future
She is
self
so
might know.
motivated right now.
Well, and that's a good point. Like your future self wants something different, but your today's self doesn't want,
When I'm sitting there like,
it's like all these dimensions of us,
Mhm.
truly multi-dimension, even on the human plane.
and sometimes you have to step into that
Mhm.
higher self person, even if, the person wants to be like, even if I want to be doom scrolling and just eating bonbons or whatever, like,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
think about it scientifically. Your brain's going to keep shooting off the patterns that it knows how to do until you
exactly.
continue to make it a habit to change it. And that's
Yes,
where,
Mhm.
like the embodied avatar or fake it or whatever resonates with you. We
exactly.
should probably come up with a new saying
I think
for,
so.
for
I
the
do think so.
avatar version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
couple comments of the thing. Tiffany says, Paula says, learning to be able to change that yes to a no is very freeing also. Yes,
Mhm.
agreed. And that also can be stepping into a new version of yourself where you're
Yeah.
setting that into a boundary as well.
Yep.
Yeah. And Tiffany says one of our other speakers, he talks about your future self as our present self, God, our present self, God that seeks us to be.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think sometimes people get hung up on the word the fake because they don't want to be the
Yes.
facade version of themselves. And it may be so. I'm gonna say this, guys. Remember when I said that she has a top 3 podcast? Like that's 3%, top 3%. This is a person who just told us right now that was shying away from her human design part that said that she was a connector, and she's like, no, 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 I don't want to talk to people. So then she, because of something else she like that seemed inauthentic to her, but now that she is coming out with the thing that she loves to speak about, now that she's whatnot, being truly all of herself and not caring what other people think, so you're truly stepping into your authenticity. And now you have a podcast that's doing so well, like you're coming on this show, like I mean, and I'm sure you do other things too that is out and about, and you're having seeing success because you are being your authentic self.
Because you know who you are.
Right.
And you kind of had these inklings, but for something to be on black and white print and say, you are this, it's a little bit different. There's a shift there between, yeah, I've noticed that I like to connect with other beings and dragons, right? I've noticed that. But,
Dragons.
but if I had a piece of paper in front of me that said, you you do these things, you connect with people, because your heart is open, you do these things. That changes who you are and who you become because you do actually step into more of that divine blueprint.
Yes. Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
roadmap. And that was the
Mm-hmm.
struggle I had for many years. I mean, I've been in therapy for many years and I worked with a lot of people, and they would say, like, what do you want? What would make you feel good? And because of my trauma in my past, I had no feeling in my body. I was completely dissociated from my
Mm-hmm.
body. I was like, I don't know, everything feels numb. Like I used to pride myself on never crying.
I did
That's not a
too.
great thing, right? Like
Yeah.
that means we can't feel deeply.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so this human design was the actual, like, this is the starting point where so many
Mm-hmm.
manifestation teachers or whatever were like, well, what do you want? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know who I am. I don't know what I want. And this is like the working backwards. And that is what I found the most beneficial. Just give me a roadmap and I will take it and run.
Great. Well, let's talk about these roadmaps so we can take it and run. Uh, and I mean, and really just showing the benefits of it all to everyone and really what it means for them.
Oh, I just saw the comment about I was the same now. I cried almost everything. Me
Me
too.
too.
Show me like a box of keys. And I'm like, oh.
You know what? I'm screenshotting that one. That's a good one.
Yes.
I think anybody who watches our show, they're like, oh no, Bianca's gonna cry again.
Oh,
But
I cry all the time on my podcast, and they're so here for it. They're like, "Thank you for giving me permission."
She's gonna cry or yawn. Actually, Paula was at our live event, and at the very end of the live event, she stayed around a little late and did run our charts, and she did give us a little bit of information. But I knew that I was a manifesting generator from that, and I thought that I had just known that one word somewhere along the way. And now you didn't even remember what you were.
no, because I didn't have my time. And then so finally I asked my mom, and she thinks it was like, she knows for sure it was in the afternoon. She
Okay.
knows it was after lunch. And she's like, yeah, you didn't want to come before lunch. And then so she thinks it was like 1:18 in the afternoon. So
Okay.
Well, luckily for you, it doesn't change much in that afternoon time. So
okay.
you
Okay.
are, I mean, with most certainly that certainty that we can have, you are a 2-4 emotional generator.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds about right. I don't know what that means, but that sounds
That
But it
sounds
resonates
like
in
what
your
it was
body.
before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So where do you want me to start? Where do I go?
I have no idea. We
All
don't
right.
know enough to ask intelligent questions on this
So
call.
let me go way back to, like, for anyone who's like, I still don't know what human design is. I'll
Yeah.
start
Okay.
there.
sure.
So human design is a system that teaches you how to connect with your body's consciousness. I'm sure everyone on this call can resonate with a moment of being like, oh, my gut told me not to do that, and I did
Yeah.
that anyway, right? Like we feel this, but we're taught to think with the logical thinking brain. Now, although human design was only channeled in 87, it uses ancient systems, astrology, the chakra system, quantum mechanics, Kabbalah, the I Ching. So
Yeah.
all of these are almost like time tested systems that other cultures have lived by forever and ever. And so what the original channeler of human design found was that they all connected in a certain way. It was actually an awful experience for him. He channeled for like 8 days and he couldn't stop, and
Wow.
it was awful.
I actually don't know if I know this story, but I
Oh,
did see the correlation between all of the mapping and the archetypes and everything like that. So that's fascinating. Okay.
That's
exactly.
cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. And so whereas things like astrology are kind of like the who, the human design comes in with like the what, how. So I used to love astrology when I was young, but I was like, okay, I read about myself. Cool. And then, I go on with my day, and I still love astrology. I'm a hobby astrologist, I would say. But human design is like, no, this is how you interact with the world. This is how your body communicates with you. This is how your body tells you what she needs at a higher consciousness. And this is where magic begins to happen. This is the co-creation, the flow that people talk about. The more you peel back the layers of what you've been trained to be, which even if you had the best parents, we're all conditioned. It's like as soon as you come out of the womb, sit still, be quiet, cross your legs, use your fork this way. So we're all trained, just like dogs, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
And human design is where you start to understand what layers need to be peeled back so that you can
Okay.
actually be your most authentic soul essence. Does that make sense?
100%. Yes.
So
Yes.
this is why it's such a good roadmap, because
Mhm.
if you don't know who you are, if you've never felt connected to exactly what you're here to do, this just following this path alone will start to light up all these opportunities for you. And I'm not going to sit here and say it's easy. There's a big misconception with a lot of people in human design saying like your life will be easy forever. And I still believe that our souls signed up for some stuff, right? Like we're going to go through
Sure.
journeys, we're going to go through things. We have to in order to grow. But I will tell you, it's a lot more magical and you just feel better every single day when you do peel back those layers of conditioning and you live in the way that you were designed to live.
Yeah. And is that using our natural energy to as a tool for expansion? Is
Oh,
this?
yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that so
Yes.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say it's everything. It's a tool for expansion and also reflection and going inward, just like
Mhm.
following the seasons. You know, when you rub up against like my line four saying that I was a people person, I had to really spend months, if not years, going in deep reflection with that. And then starting to expand myself, starting to like go and ask someone to coffee or take those scary, vulnerable steps that I need to take.
Wow.
Yeah. It's making me think it kind of everything's colliding with all the different things on numerology and different things on how they come to existence to guide us to greater expansion and ascension. And we're kind of been playing with them along with tarot and tarot cards. It's been a playful, witchy game instead of it really truly being, wow, this is your destiny. Maybe you could actually choose it and live a happier life and an easier life.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
obviously, it came through for a reason, and I feel like there might have been a gap in the way in which we were interpreting some of the ancient wisdom, or maybe there just was that gap. And I feel like we knew about archetypes, we knew about, so when you look at the tarot, you also know that those are archetypes throughout the human journey, right? And then you look at you look at astrology, and of course, that's based upon like when your birth and all that stuff. Like, I mean, and then you look at something like uh, the Hermetic principles, and basically, when you look at some of the old ancient text, and when you hear the words, "It is all written," right? Just like your name, just like when you're born, and all this stuff, and then it's almost, I guess, it's mind blowing to me to know that when you're born and your name, these things
Hmm.
can be who you
Yes.
are. And
It's a
that knows
frequency.
correct, right? It's our signature resonance, is
Yes.
what I always talk about. And that is mapped. It's you created that. And when I look at that with like stuff like QHHT or past life regression, and you've got people that are sitting there saying the same things, case over case, that they have plan, about what they're going to do
Yep.
here on earth. I mean, all of it makes
And do you know what
sense.
else? What
Mhm.
might make you blow your
Yeah.
mind? The women that choose to do Pitocin to induce.
Uh-huh.
That's one choice that changes this for could change
Could.
this. Yes.
It's already planned.
Correct. It's also the woman that has been laboring for 12 hours
Like,
and the doctor says, "Do you want a C-section now or do you want one tomorrow morning?"
right.
Yeah.
And that is already predestined, right? Like
Yeah.
that, isn't that
One
cool?
decision.
Right.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
it's so, I don't know,
I
it's so
know.
cool. It is so cool. So it
But
makes
we'll stop being so cool and let's get into
yes,
this.
yes, yes, yes. Well, I just want people to really understand that it comes from this other place. And then when you look at it and you can see that, hey, maybe this is the matrix, right? Or maybe this is what the life that I'm creating, the
Mhm.
reality that I'm creating, then you can go around and you can pull the veil back and say, I choose this and I chose this. And what else did I chose with my soul? And what map like this can I use to navigate
Yes.
these plots that I've had in life, like what Shabella
Yes.
talked about yesterday, those nexus points that define who we are. Okay, go ahead.
What are the main things that everyone would, if you were going to just do a mini reading, everyone would be noticed about their chart other than like manifesting generator or generator or the different archetypes?
So other than the basics, I would say always starting with the basics. This is the one thing that I actually agree with pretty much every other human design expert on, is starting with type, strategy, and authority.
Okay.
Because just like, you know, when a string of Christmas tree lights, one bulb goes out and they all go out, but if you just replace that one bulb, they all turn on.
Yeah.
That's what type, strategy, and authority does for you. If you never go any deeper, the rest is going to naturally turn on. Type, like for me, manifesting generator. Authority is the way I make decisions. I know I'm an emotional decision maker, as are you two.
Mm-hmm.
And then strategy is a part of my being a manifesting generator. If you wanted to go deeper than that, the next level, the next what I would consider bang for your buck is my favorite part of the design, and it's their
Okay.
profile lines. That's my 4-6, and Lianka's 2-4, and Jeneth, I think you're a 5-1. Yeah.
One, yes.
Because those are very like personality, like almost more easier to access and manipulate, for lack of a better term, on an everyday level to
Okay.
really find yourself in better alignment. So like with me being aligned 4, being that people person, I know that for me, community is super important. I know that I love to connect people. I love to just be with people, and opportunities come to me through my network. I'm not like a cold pitching, cold calling. That's not my design. Even email funnels, like that's not really what people want from me. They just want intimacy and relationship. So that's how most of my life works for me, for everything, not just for business.
Well, yeah.
And you're a 4. If
Yep,
she's a
she's a 2-4.
4-6. Oh, a C. What does that? And that
So-
means that she's a connector.
Yeah, partly. Yes. So there's 2 numbers, and the first number is more of the conscious side of you. The second number is more of the unconscious, more of the body instead of the personality. So for you, Lianka, with a line 2, that is known as the gifted child, also known as the hermit. So you probably really need a lot of your alone time. Get a little snuggie on the couch and be in your own inner process. That's really important for you. But the other thing that people don't talk about often enough with being aligned to my husband is this, and it's like borderline annoying how easily he can just pick up on things and do them. Like he can just watch a YouTube video and fix anything. For you, there's going to be things that you just innately know how to do that you don't know how you know how to do.
Yeah. I've always been that way.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the 4th line, so your body, your unconscious side of you is also that connector, that community person. The shadow, of course, being for a line 4, the shadow is always the opposite, is we're deeply afraid of rejection of other people because we want people to love us so much.
Yeah. Guilty.
But then we're so fearful that we're going to be rejected. So you have a nice balance that you get to play with of hermit, alone time, being your inner process, being your introspection. And then the 4th line, go out in your community, go be with your people, and then see what comes back around to you to go back to that inner process. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. I can see how this would really help in business as well.
Oh, yeah.
And so then that helps you improve your finances, even yourself, your confidence, right?
And this just changes when you remarry and have a different name, or no, it goes up upon your birth name
It
always.
goes by your birth date and time.
Never a name change or anything. Like it's always this way in this human existence.
Yeah.
So
this is why I have a little trouble with it.
So if you gave her my name, you gave her my married name. So then
Oh,
do I need to give you
right.
my name by
I didn't even really use your name. I just
Your
wrote
name, it was a
Lianka.
birthday. I gave her a
You just
birthday.
gave her birthday. Okay,
Right.
cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Nope.
Interesting.
Name is not included.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Oh, that's even
So it's your
crazier.
numbers. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, Jeneth, do you want your numbers?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Well, you
know
can't
I'm
give
a
it to Lianka.
5-1.
So 5-1. So your first, the number, the more conscious side of you personality, that line 5, that's someone who's very practical, very efficient. You love to like fix and tweak systems. It's a fixer energy, very fixer energy. Very much making things more simple, more practical, more easy to understand. Is that landing?
Yes. I'm like, we're going to systematize this thing.
I was going to say it. That's your goal word right now. We just got to get this much systematized.
Yep. It like turns her on. She's like,
It
how do
does.
you make this so efficient? And my husband, that's his other line. So if
Okay, good to
need like
know.
a spreadsheet, I go to my husband and he's like, you're talking my language.
It's
He's
like divine.
I love it. I love
so
it.
good. And then the line 1, your body, the second side of you, is the investigator, the researcher, the lifelong learner. Yeah.
Yep.
So
I've got all the good wellness products, let me tell you.
Because she does all the
Always
research
digging
and
into this
investigates.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you find things to research and deepen your studies on. And then the way you
Mhm.
bring that back into the world is through very practical, simple, easy to
Yep.
understand ways.
Yeah.
Two
Yeah.
play together.
Yeah. People almost think I'm too lighthearted, and then suddenly something like really deep will come out of my mouth. They're like, she's just
Oh,
a flu, like happy-go-lucky
Blue
person.
flu. Well,
They
you're October. You're
rally
you're Libra.
rally risers.
You're a
yeah,
Libra,
she's a
right?
Libra.
Yeah.
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 So that air energy, people probably feel that about you too.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. 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 Sometimes people say I have like a fairy-like energy, but I seem,
Yeah, I can see that.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
All right. This is cool stuff. Now, I would like to play with the audience a little more, and I do want to invite the audience into the chat. I keep seeing our inner circle yapping, but I haven't seen anybody else. So I would like to bring in some of the summit here. Feel free to ask any questions that are coming to mind. Adriana, can you run like mini charts, or how do you want to work with people, or just ask questions? Tell us.
Totally go with the flow. If you
Okay.
guys know your chart and you have a specific question about a part of your chart, throw it in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. While we're queuing up some things, and you guys
Patricia had a
feel
question.
free
It's
to
up there.
raise your hand too. Please, those are a little easier for longer questions. And start with a question. And then if there needs to be backstory, then Adriana can ask for more story around it. Okay.
Yeah.
Projectors, yeah, usually, right, Paula said projectors are only 20% of the population. And she's talking about how they need to be seen or acknowledged, to talk things out. Um,
Yeah, let's talk about
some of the other ones, because
yeah.
we always hear about generators and manifesting generators,
Yep.
which, and then I think generators is maybe one of the larger part of the population, but sometimes she wanted to know about, the other one person wanted to know about projectors, because we don't ever hear about it, a lot about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Projectors and mini gens make up 70% of the population. So they're probably
Mhm.
really effing sick of us, to be honest with you, because we are just like always in their space and they're always taking in our energy and burning them out. And yes, people talk about them a lot because there's more of them teaching. And so it's natural for them to
Mhm.
teach what they know best, what they know
Uh-huh.
firsthand. But I love all my people, but projectors, I mean, my projector friends are some of my favorite to lean on when I have an issue, any issue, because they know exactly how to literally penetrate through your aura, the energy of whatever's going on, and be like, this is the problem, and this is how we can fix it. They are
Mhm.
literally known to be the best guides, the best teachers. I had a personal trainer once who I swear was a projector, although I didn't have all her birth information, because she would just watch every little movement I made and she would tweak perfectly. And I was like,
Oh.
that is the best projector energy. Excuse me. So they're designed to be more of the leaders and the managers, not the doers. And this is
Okay.
where us generator types are constantly conditioning them, because just by being around each other's energy, we're picking up, like, Leonka, I'm picking up your defined heart just by being in your energy. So they're constantly picking up our go, 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 do energy. And that could be exhausting for them. They're not
Yeah.
designed to work full days. They're like most of my projectors, a lot of them take a nap throughout the day or go for a nice hike in the woods. Totally need it. Max 2 to 3 hours of work spurts at a time, if not even per day. It depends on their specific energy. But
Interesting.
they are really gifted at delegating and leading people. Their struggle is feeling safe enough to do that, to let go, to stop doing so much, because we live in a culture where productivity is rewarded. And so this is part of the peeling back of the layers, where we start to see the universe, God, source, whatever you choose to believe in, come in and help you. It's a co-creation. This is where you get to play with the energies of the universe to help you instead of forcing you. But that's one of the biggest struggles that my projector clients have, is just knowing when enough is
Right.
enough, and that it's a co-creation. The universe will take another couple of steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing that I think is human design is there's a not me thing.
Mhm.
And I know that my not me thing goes to frustration. And I've been told by somebody, that's not you. So be alert of it, because you will definitely go there, and then you will fester in it when it's actually not you being authentic to you.
Yep. Yep. For generators and manifesting generators, it's
Mhm.
frustration. For
Okay.
mani-gens, we can also feel this anger.
Yeah.
And then for our projectors, it is this feeling of bitterness, which is like what
Okay.
I've been told is this like not feeling seen or heard. Like they have so much they want to give, and not everyone's willing to let that land. And that can make them feel really unheard and unseen.
Mhm.
And I want to add in for any manifestors or reflectors in the room. For manifestors, that feeling is anger. And for reflectors, it's disappointment.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Yeah. So there's just those four, the reflector, the projector. There's five. Okay.
Yep.
Because there's
Reflectors.
manifesting and then there. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So two generator types,
Okay.
and then the projectors, manifestors, and reflectors.
Reflectors.
Okay.
Mhm.
I've
And
never even heard of reflectors.
because
Only
there's only like
1% of the
5%.
population.
One.
1%.
Oh
1%.
wow.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Well,
I
let's
just
hear
saw
about them.
my girl Amy in here. She has a son who is a reflector, and we've been
Hmm.
talking about parenting with him.
Oh,
Well, tell us a little bit
interesting.
about that, just out of curiosity.
What did you say?
What?
I said, tell us a little bit about a
Oh, yeah.
reflector, just out of curiosity.
Yeah. So for reflectors, if you look at their chart, the centers on their chart are all completely open. Meaning, let's go back to the heart center we were talking about when we began with, and how
Okay.
Jonathan and I have an open heart. So it's fluid, it's flowy, it's not consistent for us. And so reflectors, everything about them is inconsistent. And so they don't
Mhm.
have go-go energy. They don't have this quote normal way of being compared to the rest of us. It's very fluid. It's very based on their environment, and they are literally flowing with the moon on a 28-day lunar cycle.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes.
That almost seems
fascinating.
it should be,
I
right?
know. As a woman, we should probably all be like,
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
We've got the right to be that.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how the consciousness works. That almost sounds a little bit like autism. You know, but there's no way that in the future that number for reflectors would go up because that would, could it be?
It could. Yeah, we
Okay.
have the new paradigm. I don't know if you've heard of
Uh-huh.
that. Is officially kicking off in 2027. We've been on this evolution for years. This is why we're seeing like all this rise in autism and all these other,
Yes.
right? Like there is a
Yes.
connection here.
Yes.
And so this new
And
paradigm,
just now seeing the gifts in all of that.
Yes.
Right.
exactly.
And so thank goodness, because, I think us woo-woo people could see that, but now more mainstream is really bringing forth that. And
Yep.
so as we're having more children with, I don't want to say on the spectrum, but, with however they want to define it.
Neurodiverse. I have
Yes.
ADHD and I call myself
Me too.
neurospicy. So
Me too.
neurospicy,
Me
you know.
too. Yes. And so I think that, and celebrating that, right?
Yep.
I think that with more children coming in that way, we have more to gain from a whole new population that is of this difference. I didn't know it was
Yeah.
specific to the 20 year 27, but I did know that was very much the case. And it is a piece that we just had somebody talking about this yesterday of the population that doesn't have to do this new karmic cycle. And so we are the last of that generation that are doing that as new folks come in as well.
You're welcome, people.
Yeah,
they are literally certain babies are literally going to be born with a different design, like a different body graph. There's still some debate up as what that's going to look like, but yeah, it's a different human being born after 2027.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about some of the big stories of like, wow, this really changed somebody's life. And also, should I advise the chat to put in birth date, time, and location?
A couple that have already given
They're like just kind of spitting things out. So I wanted to know what you needed specifically so we can look at it.
Well, it depends on what the question is.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and I see a couple of hands up too. So I don't know how you wanted to do this, chat or pop on.
Let's just have somebody come. Deborah, go ahead and unmute and we'll see how we go.
Okay.
Great. Let me see if I can get my video going too.
And if not, that's okay. We do like having the video, but
I know. I love seeing your beautiful faces.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, now you're muted.
We'll get there.
Deborah, you're still muted.
Well, I'm going to go to Elaine while she's figuring that out.
Okay.
Elaine, go ahead and unmute and ask
Done,
your
ready.
question.
Okay.
No, hi. All right, it's me in that video though. I can't.
That's okay.
Well,
Go ahead and ask your question.
I don't know what I am anymore. I think one time, a long time ago, I had that. So I would
Okay.
love to tap into that.
All right, let's see.
What am I?
Okay, great.
I know.
What the hell am I?
Yes.
Start generating, damn it.
Girl, me too.
All right, Elaine. Elaine, do you know your exact time of birth?
Yes, I put it, it's 5:41 p.m.
And your birthday?
5/3/1957.
Oh, hey, fellow Taurus.
I know, right? The
Right.
bull is on.
1957.
Yes.
And you were
Yes.
born in what city or town?
In National City, California.
Okay, let's see. May 3rd, 1957, 5:41 p.m., National City. You are a 1-3 sacral manifesting generator. So what we mentioned earlier about being a manifesting generator, you might resonate with if you were here for that part. That is like the quote, too much, too big, too all over the place kind of energy. We are very energetic and we love to go from one thing to another thing. We're very multi-hyphenate, multi-passionate, and we need to follow those pulls, that energy that just wants to go do something. Do you have a specific question about that?
Well, yeah, you get pulled in a lot of different directions. What the hell happened? No.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I do.
And there's a lot of
I totally
directions.
can identify that, and on top of a sanguine temperament too, that flits from one thing to another. But
yeah. And that's okay. I mean, you and I share a piece of our chart where we are also here to learn what the true art of devotion is. And so for us, it is a dance with like, what do I want to stay committed to? And when do I know it's truly a time for a new challenge? Because we need to be challenged. We get bored so fast. And if we are not challenged, then nothing else lights us up. But for us, it's like, what's the overarching theme of what we want to stay devoted to? I'll give you an example. For me, I have a lot of fascination with the sacral center specifically. This is the womb space. This is the below the belly button space. And this is a very ancient feminine wisdom space. There are so many tools, so many things that light me up about that body of work that I found that the path of becoming a priestess actually embodied all of that. Like I can study all aspects of that. I have many, many tools that I can discover and use all under one umbrella, if that makes sense. And so for me, it's like staying on this path of being devoted and committed to empowering women through ancient feminine wisdom. And that can look a million different ways. Does that make sense?
yes, totally. I kind of delved into that a long, long time ago, before kind of that whole feminine wisdom thing came kind of to the
Yep.
forefront. An old book with that was all about the goddesses and that. So basically, you're only one theme, or are there are there other dimensions as well? Are you pretty much
Oh yeah.
go with this one?
It is we're very multidimensional. I mean, everyone is. This is I struggle with titles in general,
Right.
except for the fact that if you were to just understand being a manifesting generator means to follow what makes you really excited every day and to allow that to run the show instead of your logical brain, then you would go very far. There's lots of nuances and there's lots of shadow aspects that can come up that we need to work through. But overall, if you were to take one theme and start running with it, it would be to make sure that what you're doing really lights you up and that you feel creative and that you feel unique and that you feel devoted to something along the way. And a lot will unlock for you over time.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right. Mystique member Joe, he did put his birth date in the chat. So why don't you run his chart and then maybe we can bring him up and have him ask a
All
question.
right. Joe. Oh, I see Joe Bayless.
Don't pass me by.
And we got a Virgo. 1953. I love Texas. Okay.
You're
All right,
welcome
so
to come visit. We've got an event
Anytime.
coming in
that's
November.
right. You guys are in Texas. We used to go
Yeah.
to Austin every year
Yeah,
before
that's
COVID,
where
and
we
now we
are.
don't.
Oh,
All right, so
boo.
August 28th, 1953, 22:45 p.m. Baytown. Okay, Joe, you are a 6'2" sacral generator. What question did you have?
We might have put him on the spot.
That. So he's a jet. Joe, can you hear us? Or Mark, maybe.
Yes, I can
Okay.
hear.
Okay.
Um,
Well, did you ask
Did
your
you
question?
thought
hear?
I heard you say something. My ears are a little off.
Yeah. Tell him again what he is.
You are a 6'2" sacral generator. So your type is a generator. And I'm curious what your question is. Or did you just want to know your
Just
type?
so much is happening for me at this moment. It's like a total shift,
Hmm.
kind of stepping into that realization of who I actually am. And I just would like to see where that's going.
Hmm. Yes. I love that you're embracing it because what I'm about to share might be a little bit over the head, but just bear with me on the theme of what I'm sharing here. Your strongest gates, which are like energy traits in your chart, are a part of the astrological nodal return that just happened. What this is meaning for you is you are literally in, like you just said, in this massive shift, which we're actually coming out on the other side of right now. And you've been in this big shift of understanding what true abundance looks like for you, how to move out of victim mentality, and how to have relationships that feel good and that are meaningful and deep for you. And so, if any of those themes are coming up for you, continue to reflect on them, continue to push yourself a little bit outside of your comfort zone to expand into what that's asking for you. But the fact that you can already say that you are picking up on a big shift shows me that you are as aware as you need to be. And you're doing everything on that path in order to really fully allow it to realize. So keep going with whatever it is you're doing. It's leading you somewhere. I can't tell you where specifically, but it is leading you to a big part of your purpose, which is literally impacting people through spirit. And when I say spirit, I don't necessarily mean spirit like dead people. I mean like emotional spirit. That is a big part of what you're here to help people move through. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Just this morning, and that was way up in the beginning of the post. Just this morning, it's been very enlightening and transforming, and I will share a little bit. I found a translation of the Lord's Prayer directly from Aramaic to English. It skipped all the other stuff. Totally different. And in my gut, it felt like this is the best I can describe it at the moment. A cool rain on a hot summer day. Like,
Oh,
wow, this
beautiful.
is the truth.
Thank,
Yay.
yay.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
So I just got that from that session that this is a lot more deeper than we've been talking about.
Ever, right? Ever.
Yep.
So you got all of that just by looking at his chart that because that knowing him, that is very close to what he is
Yeah.
going through, almost to the T.
Yeah.
And that excites me. So I'm kind of curious what you like, is everyone, I mean, can you see in the moment where all of us are?
Is that also because you have astrology as a background too?
Is this some of this intuitive astrology?
yeah.
I think
yeah.
magic.
Nailed it. Yes to all of that.
Yes.
Yes
Okay.
to yes,
Yes.
I love also studying astrology. I think it adds more nuance
It
to my
does.
work.
Yes.
But when I do these readings, I do ask spirit to communicate through me.
I
So
feel like
half the
figured
time I
that
don't
out.
remember what I just said. But this whole spirit unlock actually happened the more that I was deconditioning from all the stuff from childhood. One
Yeah.
day I just channeled a dead person and I had no idea what was happening. And so now spirit accompanies me, intuition,
Love
call it whatever
it.
you want.
Uh-huh.
I look at the chart, I ask for what I need to be focusing on, and it's like an inner knowing. I just know exactly what to look at, and then they kind of channel the message through me.
I'm
So
glad that
yeah,
you shared that
Uh-huh.
because I was hearing that. I was like, oh, she also works with
Yeah.
this with spirit to work.
I
Uh-huh.
They
do.
were telling me that in my head, and I was like, oh, okay. But I didn't know if you actually shared that. But yeah, I can see that because you're
I do
magic for
now.
sure.
I'm out of the closet on that now.
We're
I
gonna
wasn't
have
for a
you
while.
back for another hour.
Sure.
Too. No, good. So can you give it to us? I'm kind of curious now.
For you too?
Yeah,
Well, tell me
that's okay.
exactly. I would love
Ask your
to hear.
question.
Hold on.
I want a different home lifestyle, right? And I'm stuck around it for sure because I've never really been capable of, like, I'm great at business vision, not so great at my house and my home and my living. And so as soon as I step into doing one thing around it, I go, no. And I would love some guidance around, like, get my ass in gear and make it like a business almost. That's the only way I think I'm going to be able to get the home that I want.
So when you're talking about the home that you want, I'm assuming you mean aesthetics because you're
Yes,
Libra.
Yes,
aesthetics.
Yeah, Libra is ruled by Venus. So, and Taurus is too. So I'm all about the
Uh-huh.
aesthetics. I know exactly what you're talking about. So for you, you have what's called a design sense, a strong sense of inner vision. So I'm
Mhm.
curious if you were to close your eyes.
Elaine.
Go to dancapitalislaw.com.
Thanks for the ad.
Yeah, right.
Wait, no,
I'm curious if you were to
the
close
other
your
side.
eyes, do you feel like you have a strong sense of inner seeing?
Joe.
Like you can visualize really well, that kind of thing?
Not, it's different because I can do it like for my life. Like I know the things I want,
Mm-hmm.
but getting it to actually be in existence is seems to be like a struggle.
Okay, so your body's just kind of crashing out with overwhelm. Is that what it sounds like?
I don't feel like it's maybe because there's so much I want done in it.
Yeah.
Like I want the whole thing painted, I want the yard, I want the garden. I work on my closet a lot.
Yeah. Oh, I love doing that. So for you, this feels like a very common manifesting generator struggle, especially with having what's called an open head center and a defined root center. So the very tippity top of your chart is the head center and it's wide open. I have this as well. So we love to take in ideas and inspiration and all this stuff, and it's taking in all the time. So we got to put up boundaries with that. But then we have a defined root center at the bottom of the chart, which is our pressure to go and to do. So we literally, what this manifests like in my body is my body's literally like, get up, go do, go, get out of bed, got to start the day. And then my head, if I don't have a list, if I'm not prepared, my head's swimming. Like, I don't know what I'm pulled in a million different directions. I don't know which way to go. It sounds like your body is seeking a direction to go in. Oh, yes, I see. Okay. Seeking a direction to go in that if you don't have something planned out, even baby steps or a task list, it just gets overwhelming and literally judges everything about you, about yourself, the judgment coming back on you in a negative way, because that's how you see the world, is through a sense of judgment. And then you don't want to do anything. So something that's super simple that I honestly think most manifesting generators benefit from this is start writing down a list of all the things you want to tackle. And then that way you can actually, when you start one by one, you start checking off and seeing your progress as you go. And just that act of like being able to cross something off feels so satisfying for a generator type.
Yes.
You keep lists and things like that right now for everything you
Yes,
want to
I
do in
do.
the house.
No, I
Not for the
don't.
house.
Not for the house, but
There you go. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I
then
see.
each time that you go through your list, when you have time to work on something, see which one your body responds to. See which one feels
Mhm.
like a yes that day.
Okay. Fabulous.
That,
Interesting.
that sounds like information overwhelm. We just need to ground it
Uh-huh.
into the body.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
Awesome.
Fabulous. We're hitting right at the hour, so I'd like to share your special offer. And
That went fast.
oh my gosh,
You
it
know,
took a minute for us to like get the gist of what was going on in this call.
And once we got going, boy, that time flew. But it's
Cool
always
stuff.
fun. Yeah.
Yes, it's so freaking cool.
So she's gonna pull it up.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah.
And I guess also, I mean, I'm kind of curious, do you also work as like a regular month-to-month coach?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
Let's
mean,
talk about the one-on-one first.
yes. Yeah. So this is like the
And the chart
entryway that
reading.
most people find me because this is
Okay.
a nice, intimate way to just be with me for 60 minutes,
Mhm.
dive into whatever question you have. Or if it's not a question, if it's just like a, I don't know, I just felt pulled to come and deepen into this with you, then, spirit very much leads the way. And we make sure that you leave feeling like you know who you are, at least the
love
right
that.
next
Mhm.
steps. So, Mary Magdalene revealed. I just forgot I had that quote in there. I love that
Right.
book.
Let's see. It says, it's our work to undo the systems of power that confuse us into forgetting that our own true power rests
Rests
within
within
us.
Yeah.
That's a
That's
beautiful quote.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So these sessions are not just like a natal chart reading. This is where you walk away understanding who you were designed to be and why whatever is in your life isn't resonant with you right now, and how
Yeah.
to actually create more resonance, more magic in your everyday life. But this is tapping into your innate power that is
Mhm.
there, that we just have lost trust in. And if you are a mom of young kids and you've ever had a doctor tell you your kid was fine when you know that kid wasn't fine, you know exactly what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Yes.
Like
Yep.
this power gets pulled from us in all these
Mhm.
different ways. And this is
Yes.
about coming back to your center and who you are, learning how you access that center so that you can walk away for the rest of your life after whatever work we do together, knowing how to get back to that clarity, back to self,
Nice.
back to power. And so this is just a really great starting point.
Beautiful. Wow. I I can see how this would be insanely valuable for
Absolutely.
everyone, you
Absolutely.
guys. Absolutely. I'm going to put the link in the chat, but if you're looking on the after this and you're not in the chat, you can find it at houthustle.com/live. That's HAUTE hustle.com/live.
Probably should have mentioned it's 20% off through that link too. So use their link,
Fabulous.
look
Yes.
through their link, not my website. So you get the 20% off.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Yes,
welcome.
that's such a really great treat that you got for our viewers. Did you want to take another call?
Well, I felt like maybe we would wrap up. I would like to hear some of the fantastic, like life-changing stories that you've had just from human design readings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that always comes to mind, excuse me, when I think about this is I had a woman who I
Mm.
met with PMDD. Have you guys ever heard of PMDD?
No.
Mm.
Premenstrual dysphoric disorder. It
Hmm.
is associated with her menstrual cycle, yet
Okay.
the doctors say it was not a menstrual or womb problem, it was a neurological problem. And
Hmm.
so every time she was approaching her cycle every
Oh.
month, she would have these massive mood swings. I mean, it was breaking her marriage apart. She was hating who she was as a mom. And when she came to me, of course, my logical brain was like, that's not my forte. I can't help you with that. Right. But my
Mhm.
intuition was like, you absolutely can.
Nice.
And
Wow.
she and I, we did a chart reading. We went a little bit deeper. And then after she did some work with me for about 6 months, that was about 2.5 years ago. She has since been PMDD free. And I
love
don't
that.
really know how to explain that except for the fact that I am obsessed with the womb and feminine healing and reclaiming our energy. And I think the society we live in just really strips that away so much
Mhm.
that we're left with the bare bones and our body is kind of like going haywire, not knowing what to do. So
Yeah.
that is by far one of my favorite stories to share.
And that was very much by reading her chart and then telling her intuitively where to navigate with it and what
Yep.
Yeah, can you share a little bit about?
Yeah,
We
we've got
have
people-
somebody on the chat that asked yesterday about, her, and asked an angel healer, and he actually had, her kind of energetically reinstall things that were taken from a hysterectomy.
Mhm.
You do
And
talk
that's
about
somebody that says right now that
Yeah.
they just got
That-
diagnosed, and that hearing what you
that
think here
gives them hope.
And that also Deborah
Somebody
says,
said that was me, but undiagnosed.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Apparently that's up.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
Interesting you shared that one really unique story.
No.
right. And I just read an article that has been sitting with me the other day. It says that when we're about to have a period, it actually starts in the brain. The brain is what triggers there. And so it tells the body,
Mhm.
okay, it's time to ovulate. And
Yes.
when you have trouble ovulating, or when you have, different things that have thrown your cycle off, it also makes the brain have trouble as well. And so it starts with a hormone release in the brain, though.
Sure.
And I thought, wow. I mean, I know bodies,
Cortisone starts up
but
too.
exactly, that's exactly what it is. And so if you're messing with your hormones and the release of those within the brain, then you also mess with the brain chemical function. And
Yes.
when you do that, that is when we get into some odd areas of and where we have some of this undiagnosed stuff. And I 100% probably feel some of that weirdness because I'm going through perimenopause,
Yeah.
and that's half the population.
I know. Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
wild how it's also connected. But I mean,
Right?
it being also connected is also our benefit, because it's
Mhm.
if it's all connected, then what we're working on everywhere else is all connected. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's empowering. It gives us hope
Yeah.
again if we can understand these. But these are the conversations that people aren't having. And so excited that we both have a podcast that now, a place where people can go to hear
Yeah.
some of these unconventional ways in which that we can know we're not crazy.
Exactly. We are not crazy.
And yes, and we don't have to suffer alone. We can actually, seek out different ways in which to get that help and healing. Katie says, this is so interesting, and thanks. It's fascinating, she says.
Oh.
Thank you for the information.
It is fascinating. I'm fascinated. And I was the one that was like, no, I'm just going to follow consciousness. I don't even like feng shui.
I know.
Defined. I just want to follow
Mrs.
my
I did
heart
have
and
my
what's
house now.
good. And yes, you see where do you see the struggle?
Oh, I get it.
It's
Yep.
like me wanting to be more free was actually more of the conclusion than me following the energy.
Right? Because you were rejecting something.
Yes.
Ah.
And I get
So-
it. I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Big ahas. Thank
Well,
you so
yes,
much,
you're
Adriana.
welcome.
Do you have any parting words for us today?
Oh, I'm just so happy for everyone who came on Friday after a whole week of doing this,
Yes.
being
Thank
on
you.
the quote last day or last day of the week. I know a lot of people could have been like, oh, I'm just tired, I'm done. But I think that showing up here today shows that you really are. You're like ready for this level of embodiment. You are
Yes.
ready for
Mhm.
something different. And I'm just so thankful that you guys hosted me and that everyone here was with us and so engaging in the chat.
I
couldn't believe it.
know.
My ADHD. I was like, I
I
can't do
know.
this. So thank you guys, because that allows my body to be really responsive when you guys are interactive. Same with you two. When people are interactive, it's going to be really easy to respond.
Yes,
So thank
it
you guys
Yeah.
for showing up, because that really, really feeds the energy, and I appreciate
Yes.
you.
Yes. That's why it's live. See, we just followed our archetype and didn't even know it.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Adriana. It's such a blessing to have you. We'll have to have you back because my gosh, that time flew.
Yeah, it
And,
was
you are such a gift.
you're
in the world. Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you.
Absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A couple quick announcements. I think each one of us need to take a quick break, and
Yes.
then but so I will hold the line.
You're gonna hold the line
Yes,
first?
go
Okay,
ahead.
great.
Yes. So if you are not signed up and you're not receiving this, if you're just on YouTube, oh,
The camera, I'm sorry.
it's okay. I got it unplugged. It's okay. So I can't hear you, but you can hear me, so that's totally fine. So if you are listening to us in just the YouTube, go ahead and, well, first of all, like and subscribe, maybe share this out to your friends, and then also be sure to join us online so you can get all of our different notifications plus some free bonus gifts that are available right now. And we are going to share the gifts from all of the speakers. So there's free gifts from the speakers on that list. So you can join that list at houthustle.com/summit. And we also continue the summit next Tuesday. We have Talon Fiore, and she will be on speaking with us. She is very fascinating and very fun to hear from. She's very, very great at bringing out the changing negative, maybe even negative energy into she calls the alchemical process of creativity. And so she's going to walk us through how she does some of that as well. And I think it's very fascinating because she just put together this beautiful picture book that man, that channeled energy it's very stellar. So she's going to talk to us about that. And also we have a harmonics, we are calling the in Summit Enhancer, and that has it has 8 hours of sound healing. Basically, what it does is it allows us to receive more information that sometimes our subconscious doesn't want us. We're trying to put up, our ego's trying to put up, like, I don't really believe in that. Like maybe Jenith was changed because she heard our Summit Enhancer, and really it's a life enhancer because you can just play it in the background, and was open to having some human design in her life. We shall learn. And you can grab that for just $8. I mean, really, that is a gift in and of itself. We did work with the sound engineer to have that done because it has various different brainwave frequencies. In fact, we just got a really beautiful letter of someone that picked it up earlier this week. And we had asked, then we sent out another little email. It says, tell us how you're feeling about it. And she responded and let us know that she's actually sleeping better, that more so than she has in the past couple years, just by purchasing this $8 Summit Enhancer, or Life Enhancer rather. And you can find all of this information at our live page. It's at howhustle.com/live.
Thank you.
No problem.
I also want to remind you guys that we are going to be back next Tuesday. I think I
I just
heard a
said
little
that,
bit.
yeah.
Okay.
You could talk about Fallon, and you could talk about Talon and see
Yeah.
what we have a Fallon and a Talon on this summit. So
Get my I'll today. How many of you would really like to have a community where you can go and just feel like you're a part of that community? I can't express enough how cool it is to be around some of those people that really get you when you say the word avatar embodiment. And later today, Leonka and I are going to take you through a journey
where you can truly feel as if you're becoming that avatar embodied. And hopefully, after you experience it, you'll really want to start playing with us in a more dynamic way. If nothing else, a little more on the chat.
for sure, for sure.
So make sure that if you can, stick around with us until the end of the day, because we've got something really special planned.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we have Lisa Barnett. She'll be joining us here in just a little while. She is like one of the trailblazers of doing Akashic Records, of reading Akashic Records, working with the records. She has been doing this work for probably possibly 2 decades. I remember Jenith had her on her original shows back when I met Jenith, probably
2010.
Yeah, probably about
Yeah.
15 years ago. And so we're really excited to be working with her again. And she's just, the way she puts things, I love people that are able to articulate their work in such a way that is digestible. So we're going to have Lisa come on and talk about that. Did you want to share?
And she's way beyond Akashic Records. It's sort of like Adriana is way beyond like human design. Like that's a tool.
Yeah.
But really in these conversations, you absolutely can go anywhere, which is why they're here on Friday when we're talking about avatar embodiment.
Of course.
Because they absolutely get it. They are being it. They live it every single day.
If you're confused,
They navigate
what
it.
it means.
Yes, well, that's why I'm having all our speakers describe it today. For me, it is truly being so open that I'm following my higher guidance in each moment of each day, and I'm co-creating with that higher guidance.
Yeah.
What is it? Is that what it is to you, or
Well,
do you have different words?
I see it as well. Remember when we throughout the summer, Jenith had said that I had one day was like, oh, it's like our higher self is puppeting us, and it was kind of funny because when that flash of that imagery came into my mind, it was as if my higher self knew what I did to put all of these things in place as I described or chose my life path. So I chose my parents in while I was working with my soul group. I chose what are the different things, and that was a really tough childhood. Although I came here as a really happy child, right?
Mhm.
But because of some of that preconditioning, it started to show up in weird ways and like throughout, so as a result of that, I was always like trying to people please and, get good grades and did I do a good job and da da da. And so as I was navigating life in this avatar that I chose for myself, I realized that I was having struggle because some of that stuff was showing up and I just didn't know what to do. So my embodiment wasn't happening. And so when I think back about now what I understand and even in myself how I work with the Akashic records is how my higher self, because we have the ability to connect with our higher selves, and when I can communicate without any noise with my higher self, and usually I open my records and do that, and I receive this very detailed information about some of the stuff I'm struggling with every day, right? Whether that's, how do I parent my child? How do I keep him motivated? What should I do for this business? These answers come in a very channeled way from my higher self, and so I'm able to take that piece and apply it to the self that I have here on earth, to the piece that have here on earth, and that is how I embody more of my higher self here on earth. And I think that when we have our light ignited in that way and we're operating from that place, we ignite the light in others as well.
Yes.
That's how I see it.
Mhm.
I always
a lot of words for
I was gonna say it's a long way to get there, but I want to be able to see how I see it.
the light. I do
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I do like, yeah, that
And
was,
how I connect and use it. And that's kind of the short version. We can go into it, but
we'll talk
yeah.
about it this afternoon, and hopefully really take you on an experience so that you can feel more like you are becoming that, even in those moments of doubt and everything else. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm bringing
Yeah.
up Lisa. I have a little cup here. Is that what you said? No more cups. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jeneth Blackert.
And I'm the Ocarina.
This is the Hustle Mystic Morning Show. Today we're talking with Lisa Barnett, and we are talking about avatar embodiment and the nervous system, just so that she knows. And she's will go wherever we take her often. So, and it usually becomes pretty dang on profound.
Yeah, a couple words about Lisa. Reverend Lisa Barnett is the visionary behind the Akashic Knowing School of Wisdom and the custodian of the 8 galactic Akashic Access Keys, aiming to restore humanity's access to the Akashic records. For over 3 decades, she has guided individuals through spiritual transformation using Akashic wisdom and has authored 4 best-selling books about the Akasha, bringing global clarity and guidance. Her teaching with individuals align with their soul's path by exploring soul contracts, karmic patterns, and life's vows. Lisa's 5-step Akashic Access prayer system offers tools for accessing personal soul wisdom, fostering transformation and healing through the quantum Akasha. Welcome, Lisa.
Welcome.
Oh, thank you. It's always so great to get to hang out with my soul sisters. Oh,
Yes. We
joy.
were just talking about how, you two for sure go way back,
Mhm.
and how you and Lisa, how you really have been a trailblazer for this work. I know a lot of
Yeah.
people are just starting to, hear the word Akasha a lot more. I know I've gotten into the work. I have my own experiences, but you were out here in the forefront, really sharing this information back when people were like, no, no, no. They weren't open to the woo yet, right? They were just like,
They're like, what's
and
Kosh?
and I want people to remember this and know this because, almost 20 or 15 years ago, these conversations weren't we had. They were in the corners, or you went to that one strange aisle in the library to go get some information. And
Mhm.
here is this woman, she's just bold and comes to the forefront with
Yep.
this information that I remember blew my mind. And I just want to acknowledge you for that and thank you for that.
Yes.
And B, tell us a little bit about that journey, and then we don't have to stay there for too long, but would love to get
I
into the
think
deeper
it's good for
part.
the audience.
Yes.
Absolutely. It really has been a long and
Not that long.
wild and woolly ride, no doubt. So I was actually pretty much born awake. So I would say the first
Mhm.
memory I have of realizing I was trapped back in a body was when I was about 3 years old.
Mhm.
And so then I kind of forgot, I was a kid, I was a 3 year old. And then at 13, I had two soul sisters, two best friends. The three of us did everything together every day. We walked to school, we walked home, we slept at each other's houses. We just were inseparable. And one of those friends went into a coma. And my reaction was, I should be able to heal her. And I'm 13 years old, and I'm thinking, I don't know how. I know I should be able to heal her. So it was a very unusual experience for a 13-year-old. And she crossed, and I will forever be grateful to my dear friend Marcia for waking me up again.
Mhm.
And
Wow.
yeah,
I've
it was,
never heard that of you from you.
No, I'm glad that we asked.
Wow.
yeah. So it was at that point that I started to study. So I'm living in California. It's 1969.
No way. I
Serious?
love it.
I know. I'm turning 70 this year.
Oh,
And
you look great,
Happy
girl.
birthday.
Happy
thank
birthday.
you. Thank you.
No
Um,
problem.
I have the record keepers to thank. But so I'm just kind of like, wow, so many timeline completions that we'll talk about in a bit.
Mhm.
Um, but actually that was, those crazy blessings that broke my heart
Mm.
and woke me up. And so
Yes.
it just so happened that my father had bought Baba Ram Dass's brand new book, Be Here Now, and it was sitting on our coffee table, and I picked it up.
Mm.
And I was like, wow, I can learn shit here. And so I literally spent my high school years reading weird stuff.
I love
Mhm.
that.
Wow.
I
I
love that
did
so
not know
much.
that. I know lots of pieces of the story, but not that
Yeah,
one. So
yeah.
that's
And then I
beautiful.
went on to study philosophy in
Mhm.
university, and
Yep.
then the other soul sister died.
No.
And that took me down a whole different rabbit hole, which was kind of interesting, thinking I was, philosophy, etc., maybe going down that more spiritual
Sure.
road. That totally took me down. I became a bartender and put myself through art school that way. So it's
Mhm.
been a very weird and interesting path. So I was a psychic energy healer, um, almost, well, let's call it 35 or so years ago. You know, I've been studying for my whole life. So when I finally decided to do something about it after I crawled out of that kind of other dark rabbit hole I went down, I was like, oh, now I have to become a healer because that's what they told me I was supposed to be. And so I started to study as a healer and became an energy healer, and did that for about 8 years. And it was at that point that the record keeper started yelling at me.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
I've talked about that before, whereas I would be doing a psychic energy reading for a client, and I get this big booming voice and I get this huge expansive information, and I think, wow, that's so much better than I usually get as a psychic.
I love that you shared
Wasn't the
that.
thing, right? It was not it wasn't a common thing. So it's not like I didn't know who was talking to me. It took me almost 5 years before somebody said to me, like,
Yeah.
this is the weirdest thing ever. Um,
Yeah.
my energy healer teacher
Uh-huh.
did tell us about the Akashic records. But the interesting thing was back then, right? This in the 70s, 80s, 90s,
Yeah.
the what she said was go up to your clients' Akashic records to get energy, to fill them up with their highest Akashic energy, but you're not allowed to go in.
Wow.
What?
Do you think that there was a shift? I mean, I know that there's been
Yeah.
a shift recently as well.
Well,
But
what is that?
energetically, there a shift of what we were allowed to have access to as the full humanity, right?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. So when I again finally realized I had, these beautiful beings of light I could actually talk to because they were trying to get my attention, I was like, so what the heck, what
Yeah.
happened? And they explained to me that they pulled the energy of the Akashic field away from Earth, away from humanity during the Dark Ages.
That makes
So
sense.
1,000 years ago, people were misusing it for their own gain. And so they pulled the vibration, the frequency away so that very few people outside of the great mystics could.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've talked about
I
this.
I don't remember it. Sorry.
It's okay. So I had this really big hit one day that just came to me and basically told me all of this that I said a second ago. And of course I don't have a basis for because I don't
Is this like the pyramid stuff?
no, I don't and basically
let's just-
and it's I just have pieces, right? So I don't even know who to talk to about
Maybe
this
do
except
you
for
ha-
love someone loved like you. And
Uh-huh.
so what else the other thing that I saw it as is where you have some of these maybe it was I don't want to say it was a cult leader, but maybe it was like just very high places, and maybe some pieces of people in power, but it was very held for, just like you said, the mystics, these special pockets of knowledge. And usually we would create maybe a society around it. Maybe we would create like something around that, but only one person would receive and then would teach the others about what they received. And so now we have the ability to go in and retrieve the information, just like you received from it feels like from the people that were the beings that were
Yes.
trying to get that information to you so that you could help
Interesting.
us learn to do it, to
Well,
work with it.
I mean, they could have kept that, not even let us know that too. There's a
Right.
reason that we've been told that it's here again.
And I also feel like there's another layer that and I just got this recently too, that was like, maybe, I think I said I had a channel
Oh
something,
shit!
and I said,
this is going to be an interesting
another
conversation.
piece unlocked. Like it was like, I was like, oh, like another, I don't know if it was the veil or what, but it was like, it's available. And I just was like, oh, okay. Okay. And so I was like, oh,
So, well, Lisa, and this just kind of expands everything. Are you okay to just go way out here with us?
I'm happy to, wherever you want.
Okay.
I even put up my Galactic Akasha for you.
I know, I love that so
I do
much.
love that.
Because you knew we want to go galactic with you.
Of course.
Because you had all those galactic Akashic prayers and everything.
Right.
So-
So one of the things they did say, and there really was a very specific kind of reason, why now, why not then, kind of answer. and that really was, during the dark ages, the vibration of the earth and humanity was very, very low, and people were misusing it for their own personal gain.
Mhm.
But they started tapping on the shoulders of people who could hear them, really probably as early as, I'm going to say, the 70s, maybe even the 60s. I didn't
Wow.
know anybody, but that's what they've said, that they started to reach out to. What they said was people who were embodied, that had been Akashic record keepers in the past,
Wow.
because we could hear them. And
Wow.
Yes.
so they started talking to me, and they got very loud. I always say they started yelling at me because they were trying to get my attention. And, I had 3 small children, and I had a little healing center, and I was doing energy healing, and I was busy,
Yeah, I gotcha. Right.
Right. But I'd also been told you're not allowed to go in those records. So when I said, well, why, and why can we now? And they said it literally is exactly this moment, because it is the new, age of Aquarius.
Mhm.
And we were in the 60s, sticking our big toe in that water.
I
And
gotcha.
taken literally until we actually moved through. See, I thought this was all going to hit in 2012. I was sitting on Mount Shasta watching the total eclipse of the sun with my
Yeah.
students. And then, oh, what a disappointment that we didn't flip then.
Yeah.
But it's a process. And so you cannot, nothing's written in stone. You can't really predict it. But as the energy is higher and higher, Gaia herself is awakening more and more and more. Raising the frequency of the planet is going to raise the frequency of humanity. We obviously have way more light, planetary alignments just this
Yes.
week.
Yes.
Crazy off the charts.
Yes.
So we are going to wake up,
Mhm.
or we will leave.
Yeah.
Yes.
I really get that very, very clearly. There is no other choice. You cannot sleep through this awakening.
Yes.
Which should feel empowering for all the people on this on this line right here. And if you're finding us, it's
Yeah.
because you know that stirring has already happened in your heart, and you're definitely, if you're wondering, like, am I going to be awake? Yes, you are.
Yeah.
You're here. You're
It's
already
exciting.
following that calling.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I think people are like, this is interesting work, but they don't realize that their heart is actually being fulfilled by this work until, they're like, I'm curious about it because I have these things going on. But at the end of the day, what we really find is people come to this work because it is true for them,
they're
right?
being guided
It's
here.
they're being guided here, they're being guided, and they can just follow the more in tune with what they naturally are and stop even worrying about fixing those little things that they came to fix.
Right.
Ooh.
And a lot of those big patterns are also being cleared collectively, because a lot of the emotional pain and trauma and the kind of the bigger collective stories are just that. They're collective programs, they're collective contracts. And so, it's kind of twofold. When we heal it for ourselves, that helps to unravel that aspect that we're holding of that collective contract or program.
Nice.
So that's super huge and powerful. And because a lot of people are working on some of these big programs, they'll get unraveled even if you're not aware of it yet. So it's win-win in so many ways, right?
Yes, because then not just that one thing went away, but all the things went away because you truly became a different person. Is that how you see it happening through these timelines and these veils being revealed? We're truly becoming a new person in the infinite multidimensional field, basically.
Yeah, I totally agree. And kind of what the record keepers say is that there's a kind of a bunch of pieces, and we can go, down any rabbit hole we want. But
Yeah.
but again, sovereignty is so important, because when you really are the queen or the king of your physical body, your energy field, which there's, 8 energy bodies, and your auric field, when you're the king or the queen of all of that, then you are truly able to embody that
Yes.
higher avatar expanse of self. You are able to embody not only this aspect of the soul, but often many different
I
aspects
love
of
that.
your soul.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
You
So being the sovereign is it in, it's kind of funny because for so many years I really fought against being grounded, right? Because it
Mm.
feels icky often. We feel like, it's heavy and dense and,
Mm.
emotional pain and trauma
Dense
down here when
world.
we get all the way into the
But it's
physical body,
important. Yeah.
right? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, I'll pop back out. I'll go galactic. That's much more
It
fun.
sounds
Yeah.
right. But
Yeah.
But it's
it's so important to actually we have these bodies for a reason, a beautiful reason. We're here with Earth, with each other for a beautiful reason. So, it's important to also be grounded.
But we're not just that, is what
Not
she's saying.
I know what she's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We're not just that.
Yeah.
right.
And that's why we're having these conversations, so we can embrace the infinite us.
Let me ask you a question that you put forth for us to ask you that I found very, very fascinating. You said you had do we have the ability, more ability to rewrite our Akashic records now? And
Mm.
what does it mean to like rewrite your Akashic records?
Yeah, absolutely. So, when I first started actually accessing the records for myself about 30 years ago, the way, and again, part of it has to do with the frequency of the planet and humanity as a whole. What we were able to access was a lot of human lives and a lot of kind of stories and information. But at that point, I did not see the ability to particularly rewrite things. And what the record keeper said is that humanity wasn't quite ready. So, whatever 30 years ago, it probably wasn't until I'm trying to think. Well, actually, it was probably around 2010 when the record keepers asked me to start a school. And they said, we want you to teach people how to kind of rewrite contracts, update their Akashic records, to be able to actually energetically transform these things in the records. Again, energy
Wow.
is high enough. So, I mean, still, that's a pretty long time ago. So that's 16 or so years. And so some of those books I wrote, From Questioning to Knowing, 73 Healing Prayers to Transform Your Life. A lot of that was about
Mhm.
that. But in my workshops, I really teach people how to unravel, unwrite, release and clear so we can reclaim all those amazing gifts and energy, update contracts, because we are not stuck. We did not write these contracts to be forever. Many of them are for a day or a year or 10,
Mhm.
but they
Interesting.
aren't a whole life. And so
Wow.
it's important to be aware of it, to understand them, and be able to unwrite and unravel some of those, especially where we're kind of past completion, and
Yeah. And
bring
we're
in,
just looping.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like we feel, and I get that a lot. I get a lot of clients, people who come to me for readings, who want to know if their soul contract with their spouse is over yet. And they've often
Mm.
been together for 20, 30, even more years.
Yeah.
Sometimes the record keepers are like, yep, that contract's been done for like at least 10 years. So
Uh-huh.
you're kind of,
Yeah.
stuck in the old story that is like, you get married until death do you part.
Right.
Right. Well,
Not
that
really
that
true.
makes me want to ask things. So people who have like physical ailments that have come maybe in this life, either with it or it was created from ancestral patterns, or they hear that. where do you go with that to like if it isn't that then it's written in the Akash until that karma then is resolved or something like that? Like how does that work?
Yeah. So, one of the most exciting things is that the karma that's held by humanity on this planet is already complete in all of the higher realms.
Oh, hey. Okay.
Ah, great news, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think they've been saying this for quite a few years now. And the important thing is that we as humans embodied need to do our human work, which is always about forgiveness and compassion and love and kindness and caring um,
Mhm.
and it truly is forgiveness that will help unravel any karmic patterns you have in this life that you're still experiencing. But because they're completed in the Akashic field, they will never come back. You do not have to come back and finish any of these. They really are complete. So
Okay.
basically the exciting news.
Yeah. It seems to be a little bit of a theme on this summit. So I'm glad that you were saying and reiterating what we're feeling as well. Yay, y'all. See, celebrate. Let's celebrate.
So
Here.
I have this we look at realms different than dimensions. Do you look at it that way as well? That realms are different?
Yeah, I
That
do often, and again, it's their words. And so,
yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I look at a realm more as a space or place or kind of area. So we can have
Mm-hmm.
the Akashic is a
Oh, yes. Yes.
realm
Yeah.
Oh
in the
yes.
quantum field.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's not particularly a dimension, whereas dimension
Right.
also vary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inaccessible via the
Do you
vibration.
think that humanity is now merging together with 4D?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
The time thing, the
It
weird
can't
time
happen as
thing?
fast. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't happen fast enough for
Well,
me.
especially because you've been, knowing a lot of this stuff way, way longer than a lot of people have been awakened to.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I can imagine that you're like,
Mm-hmm.
Well, right, and there's definitely a variety. So you've got people who are still mostly stuck in 3D. You've got a lot of people who, like us, are living mostly in 4D. And then you've got certainly some people who are already mostly living in 5D. I find those kind of bounce around a little bit more because
Mm-hmm.
sure.
we are in this earthly world. If you have to
Yeah.
leave your house, like I don't leave my house much because it's much easier to hang out in fourth or fifth dimension when I'm not out in the world.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you can get
But
hurt if you bounce back to 3D while you're in 5D. I've heard of stories like that where things will be like their hands are like rainbow being invisible and they'll go through walls and then they'll be like, what the hell am I doing? And then they'll get hurt a little bit, like just a bounce, or something, a jab.
right,
Uh,
right,
yeah.
right. It is a little wild until we
Uh,
start to anchor more solidly. So we're in the process, and I really believe that this year and next year we'll solidly be anchoring into the fourth dimension.
mhm.
And
Cool.
then once we can do that, we'll continue on up. And it feels like really, fingers crossed, not too distant future, we may possibly even get into the sixth. So we will see again, because
Mhm.
it's everybody who's coming with us. It's not just a few. And again, I
Mhm.
think that's really important for people to realize
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we're not leaving anyone behind.
Can you speak to that a little bit more? I
Mhm.
think that even my soul kind of like it struggles with that a little bit.
So what the record keepers say is that, right, the earth herself is a sentient being.
Mhm.
And if you imagine that Gaia started in the 14th dimension, and many of us were there then,
Mhm.
and we decided, kind of the way I see it, kind of to explain some of what we're going through, is that we as huge divine bright light beings decided, oh, let's do something different. Let's play a new game, right? And so we actually brought the frequency down of the earth, ourselves, the programs, the patterns, all these things. And it's been a process over kind of probably forever, from 14th to 12th, right? To 10th to 8th to 6th, you know, 4th, what I mean, and I'm sure there was all the in-betweens. And so it's been a long process, and now we're kind of undoing that process. So we're unraveling and unwriting a lot of the programs, because it's again, if you can imagine it like a matrix or a computer program,
Yes.
we have been programmed to believe certain things. We have been programmed to believe this is real, that
Yes.
we believe in separation, that we are single soul, single body, often having one life, all of
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Many of us have other bodies, lives on this planet at this same time. I haven't really bumped into anybody that, although it's not like I've asked everybody I've read, but it's not unusual to have two bodies on the planet. It gets to be more unusual to have three bodies on the planet at the same time. But it's kind of like your soul trying to get a whole lot of work done really quickly.
I gotcha. Now,
Kind
has
of what
that
we're
always
doing.
been the case?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes, and I don't know if you've ever experienced this, Leonka, when you're in the records, have you ever done a reading for somebody where you've been like, oh, they're showing me two past lives, but they cross over. That's
I
weird.
have seen that. I have
Mhm.
seen that, and then I have to ask, which one do you want me to work with or talk about?
Right.
But
Mhm.
yeah, yes, yes. And so that is an aspect of the two bodies working here on Earth, with their same oversoul.
Mhm.
Interesting. Okay, okay, got it.
And we usually never meet each other. We're often very different,
Yeah,
different sides of the planet, really different. So we do it because we have a lot of work we want to do, gifts we want to, expand, karmic patterns we're completing with different people. So we're like, oh gosh, I need 2 or 3 bodies to get this done. So it's a fascinating aspect. But one of the things we're doing is unraveling a lot of the programs that we, again, as these
installed.
big,
Yes.
yeah, powerful souls, wrote and created. And not only do we write and create it to come down to like the fifth dimension, fourth dimension, we then wrote and inverted it
Mhm.
so that this third dimensional world is very inverted.
Yeah.
So we hold a lot more of the dark and the untruth than we did in the fourth dimension. So I believe when we pop back into, I don't know how quickly it will pop, but anyway, it would be nice.
I
You
hear
can
you.
wake up and be there, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You can hope. But that when we really flip into that fourth dimension, which we're trying to do this year as best as we can, the world will be a really different place. I,
Yes.
Yes.
I just think it'll be really
Yeah.
miraculous and positive. I
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
believe that what we're unraveling is a lot of the darkness,
Yes.
disconnecting a lot of the war we've had forever between light
Mhm.
and dark. Um,
I want to make this a little more pragmatic from what you just said. One of the things I really dealt with last year and into the beginning of this year is this self-control thing that I self-imposed upon myself. Now, would that be something that is like written and read in the Akash, like she's got to go through this a control thing? I mean, right? Is that how I mean, it seemed to come up in my awareness during a session, and then I kept seeing it dynamically, and then it'll fade, and then it'll sometimes come back. How does one get over those kind of, like, anything like that? It doesn't have to be that specifically, by using the Akashic records.
Yeah,
through
so
the as we also ascend as the greater galactic blah blah blah.
right. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So the record keepers always have, 3 to 5 answers for everything. So
Yeah.
so one of the main reasons that the record keepers asked me to start a school, all those years ago, and I'm like, what the heck? How do I do that? They're like, no,
Right.
we'll give you all the stuff, right? Which turned out to be 8 galactic access
I
keys.
love that.
Wow, yeah,
But,
right.
and we can talk about, but they're saying the reason
8
this is
doors.
so important and so important at this time is, again, it's about sovereignty. It's about you knowing who you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's about when you go into your own record. So 2 things. If somebody must have been helping you or doing a reading for you, Jeneth, and they can often see some of these patterns. When I see these and know they're a program, I have been taught how to unravel, unwrite, delete, and uncreate. I don't know.
Yes,
Or,
yes, yes,
A
yes.
pattern, a program. It
Yes.
is kind of like a metal box.
mhm.
So and unwrite them. Now, the interesting thing with programs is that when we write your soul plan, right? We write a complex plan. You may have said, I want to work through all of my control issues that I've had in many different lives. So you may come in, you pick a family that's going to support that. Maybe you've got some either out of control parents or over controlling parents, right? So we play it every single way. Different people play it differently. We have parents who will help to program us to be that way. You have to be a good girl. You have
Yes, I was
to
programmed
have 3 days.
by parents.
Yeah. So
They didn't mean it.
they programmed you. You wanted to be programmed and they programmed you.
Okay.
Okay. So then we can start, once we realize that, we can start to deprogram ourselves. And I see it kind of like an energy thing so that we can unravel. And again, I teach my students how to do this for themselves.
Yes.
This point in history is really all about empowerment, doing this for yourself.
Yes.
So, and again, because you realize this after you'd already been in a body 30, 40 lives, whatever. I mean, years,
Yeah.
lifetime. So if you're 40 and you're like, what the hell? Why am I so controlling? Why am I so stressed out? Why do I have to make everything just so?
Right.
Then you're like, oh, I'm aware of this. I can start to ask for layers of it. Start to clear and release. Start to look, what are the contracts I have that are connected into this program? Are there contracts with mom? Can we update and upgrade them so that's still not going on? Or dad, is that upgradable? Can we shift that, rewrite that contract? I'm over it. I get it. I'm good. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time to move on and focus on something else.
Yeah.
But because we're not only ancient, and then you would go into other past lives where you've run those kind of programs, different contracts with different people where you have set it up. So there's layers and layers and layers that we write into each lifetime to complete something. And so for most of us, it's a process, and it might take a month, and it might take 10 years, depending on how big of an aspect it is in your soul's plan. But they are, we can undo them, and that really is about the rewriting your records, saying
Yes.
like, okay,
Okay.
I get it. I'm aware. It's done. Let's rewrite
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Wow.
How else can the Akashic guidance help with the ascension?
that. Yeah. Well,
A lot of it we talked about here.
yeah.
And we could take some callers or
yes,
do
that's
some
true.
sessions,
Yeah,
whatever
I
you want,
have
wherever you want to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
To me, it's so huge, right? So there's, again, a couple of pieces. When you learn to open your own Akashic records, you are raising your frequency every day. Every time you move into the Akash, you are raising your frequency. So we're going from kind of human 3D, a lot of emotions, which are kind of on a scale between, let's call it 1 and 200, most of the emotional scales of
Sure.
fear and, anger and jealousy, all of that is under 200. And Dr. David Hawkins wrote a book forever ago, Power versus Force, and he muscle tested everything to create this scale. So the scale goes from 1 to 1,000, and it's not until we break through the lower vibrational emotional trauma at 200 that we can start to move forward into compassion and hope and love and joy and awakening. So enlightenment is between 700 and 1,000.
Yeah.
Right? It's not even a place, which I always think is so cool to realize. It's still a frequency, right?
Yes.
So we're always moving, we're always energetically in flux. But when you learn to read your own Akashic records, that would be my simplest answer to people.
Nice.
Is when you can clear the gunk, when you can more fully and completely become the sovereign of your physical body energy field, when you can truly start to embody these higher aspects of yourself, which is easier to me to do in the Akashic field, raising your frequency, it just all is part and parcel of awakening and truly flowing with the energy of ascension.
Yes.
Fighting against it or being afraid of it. So when you can open your records and talk to your record keepers every day and be like, so what about this thing that's kind of scary to me? And is it a good idea? Is it in my best interest to, go on that retreat or take this new job or deepen this relationship or, whatever these things, is this supportive to me? Is this a support contract? Is there a karmic pattern? Can we learn more about it? So again, even when they talk, the record keeper said to me all those years ago, they said, it really is a path to enlightenment, because I happened to care about enlightenment when I was a teenager, which was
that was a big, it seemed like a bigger word years ago, enlightenment.
Right?
Yeah.
So and so that's what they said to me, because it was like almost like that was the carrot that I've been looking for since I was a teenager. So they were like, path to enlightenment, right? And so I always thought that was so interesting when Dr. David Hawkins scale.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and Jesus is on the scale, I believe, actually, in that book. I hate, you said ascension, and we often talk about ascension symptoms and solar flares and mystic space weather news. And it just made me think, I kind of don't like the word symptom, right? Because I feel like it's always like an icky thing where a symptom could be, I have a symptom of extreme joy and happiness and light-floatedness,
I was going to say, if
or
you're
whatever.
working in flow, generally sometimes abundance and financial abundance, money can be in a symptom. Of that.
Yeah.
It's just
I
funny
feel like
how
there needs to be a new word.
It's funny. It does have that. I think it's because we use it in medical, right? We use the word symptom as a word to describe something that we're having an ailment with.
What I love is to think about it as alignment, right?
Yeah.
Yes, agreed.
We are realigning ourselves to these higher frequencies. Solar flares, to this new energy that's coming to Earth. And the body often takes a little bit more time than we would as a soul alone. But because we've chosen to be souls that are embodied in physical form, so we can create this beautiful new Earth, it's about, realizing it's useful to realign something, right? And you can ask in your records, how can I realign to this new higher frequency? Or is there something that's blocking me or stopping me or holding me back from this higher alignment? So I'm not feeling very well. So your records are just phenomenally useful for every question.
I know.
Well, we've kind of opened up the field in this conversation. Do you think you could do a group activation with
Sure.
the Galactic Akash?
I would love to, of
Yeah.
course.
Fabulous.
So what we'll do is, so all these years ago, I'll just kind of explain this just a little bit. When the record keepers asked me to start a school, and I thought, I have no clue how to do that. And they said, we'll give you everything. We'll give you these energetic keys in the form of sacred prayers. And so, way back then, I think they gave me four, 2 keys, 4 keys. Right now, I'm up to 8 keys. And they're all connected to different galactic kind of worlds. So there is a Pleiadian
Love
prayer,
that.
Arcturian prayer,
Mm-hmm.
Syrian prayer. I always forget all those worlds. Anyway, there's now a Lyran and Andromedan prayers.
Oh,
There's a galactic
fun.
traveler prayer, and that
Yeah.
is an angelic prayer because it actually is such a powerful realm that so many of us come from.
Okay.
So all of these, so the way it works is that they said, because we're all star seeds from different worlds, this makes it easier for more people to easily access the Akashic records. If you have a key ring and you can try them all, it's
Yeah.
much more likely you'll get through that door than if
Yeah.
you have one key.
Yes.
So I would venture to say
Love
that
that.
probably still all of the other schools have one key.
Yes, probably.
And and they're mostly Pleiadian, which was very useful back in the 70s or 80s or 90s when they were starting their school, because a lot of the people were Pleiadian, but I'm not. So
But you're wearing the colors.
I'm like, but it's just the whole galactic gig, because I'm often wearing a hot pink, or the aqua. A lot of my water is Syrian mermaid. A lot
Uh-huh.
of Syrian
That seems, yeah, aligned, huh?
water worlds.
I love
Yeah.
some water
Yeah.
world.
Yeah, I love the water worlds. So anyway, what I will use to bring you into the Akashic record. So I will do a brief guided visualization to bring everyone into the records with me, if you would like. And so it has 3 of the galactic keys embedded, this is what they're saying, written into this kind of sacred prayer. And so what I'll do is I will create a column of light around everyone. And so we'll be activating your Akashic records. We'll be inviting your record keepers to come in and talk to you, and do some collective healing, so we can clear some old junk out of the way. And feels like, maybe I'll ask them, like, oh, what can we clear to make ascension easy and fun? Right?
Well,
Right.
yeah.
Yes, I like that a lot.
Or just, yeah.
So we don't have to be having symptoms.
Really.
So the symptoms are symptoms of grand joy
Yes.
and
Yes.
it's excessive abundance.
Yeah.
Those are great. Okay, we'll ask for those too. Okay, so let's just start with a nice deep breath as we drop down into our beautiful sacred heart. Oh, just acknowledging this gorgeous soul that has chosen to create a contract with this body. So your soul contracted with your genetic body to create the life that your soul desired. And so breathing into our lovely heart, inviting our soul to come down more fully present, activating every one of those 75 trillion cells in your body, adding some more kind of soul essence energy into the physical form, just lighting it up, so you might feel the warmth or the tingle of the soul coming all the way down into your hips and your thighs and your calves and your feet, as we anchor more fully into this physical body. And then taking another beautiful, slow, deep breath as we invite our heart center to open and expand. And we ask the divine lords of unconditional love to help us center fully in this moment as we create this sacred space. Please wrap us in your love and protection and allow us to travel to the highest realms of the Akasha available to us today. Please help us relay our multidimensional hearts open to divine love and release all resistance. Lords of the Akashic Record, please guide us to the deepest truth we can access now. Support us in healing and releasing that which no longer serves on our true path. We give great thanks for your divine love and support on this journey today. And if you wish to feel or hear from your record keepers, just let them know. You can just think, yeah, come in a little closer. I want to feel my column of light around me, or I'd love to hear a message. So activating every little collective of record keepers. Each person has almost a dozen record keepers. So each of you just inviting them in. You're just noticing what you notice, and I am going to ask our collective group of record keepers to help us to clear, release, and delete anything that is stopping or blocking us from an easy ascension. And so they're showing me just a lot of kind of old belief patterns. Some of them are connected into contracts. So we invite all of your record keepers, the collective record keepers also, to come in and update and upgrade those contracts, or clear, release, and burn those contracts if they're no longer viable or valuable. So we can update and rewrite them, or just delete them if they're done. And then they want us to work on these kind of mental programs. They're like brain patterns. Like, okay, let's unravel those brain patterns that hold us stuck in the belief that we're just this, consciously or unconsciously, that the fear, the worry, the concern, any of that energy around expanding more, maybe meeting other aspects of yourself, bringing in or talking to other avatar aspects of you. So if you imagine that you've had 500 lives on earth, there are 500 lives that are still going on, 500 aspects of you having different lives. And then multiply that probably millions of times, but let's just go with 500 because it's a nice easy number, that you've had on galactic worlds, in galactic planes and dimensions. So there are aspects of you that are like my mermaid aspect that I like to embody. There are blue being aspects. I have a lot of lives on Sirius A and B. There are Egyptian ancient gods that I embody, aspects of Isis and Hathor. So those beautiful beings started as, the Egyptian gods started as beings on Sirius B. So those are aspects, those are actually galactic past lives or aspects of your soul that are still there. And so we want to clear, release any fear and confusion around that. around anything I've just said or mentioned? Any place where that goes, that might be scary? It's truly not. And deprogramming the belief that we can kind of only be one thing at a time, and deprogramming that belief that we're only this. Let's deprogram that belief that we've been abandoned. I know a lot of starseeds feel that kind of, like, my starship dropped me off and didn't come back and I want to go home, right? It's a relatively common feeling for starseeds, but we're deprogramming that because that is not truth. Your star family is always there with you. That other star being aspect is always there to call on. Also, so you have not been abandoned, whether by your star family or by source or the divine or mother, father, goddess, God. You have never been abandoned. So unraveling that huge program that keeps us small and keeps us enslaved here on this earth. So it's important to unravel those programs because they really stop us from stepping out and truly embodying who we are as these infinite, expansive, galactic, and ancient human souls. So I'm kind of watching it like an old kind of clay wall that's disintegrating. Our old walls are coming down. So just notice what that feels like for you. Everybody's different, unique. You may see something or not. You may feel something or not. It's all perfect. We have a variety of ways we receive information. And even if you just might feel warm or tingly or buzzy, or you just might get a gut feeling that is part of your clairsentience. So just let yourself think, yes, 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 let's take that damn wall down. It's about time. So that is good. Yay, 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 yay. And I unwrite things energetically with my hands, is why they kind of are often just going around doing things that are unwriting, unraveling, rewriting. And we call in the highest aspects of you, all the highest Akashic light, wisdom, and energy, to fill you up right here and now, after we just created a big new space by taking down that old wall and just bringing you into the beautiful, we're asking flow, energy of flow. So you may feel that as water, but I just really no, it is ease and grace on your path as we go through these next years of awakening, which is really truly what ascension is. Really awakening. We're going to stay here on this planet. We're going to create a phenomenal, beautiful, healthy new earth. And it's so exciting. So we're going to ask our record keepers to upgrade, update our alignment to receive all of this with ease and grace. You might feel that tingling in your crown chakra, just bringing in some new upgraded energies. Let's ask for a new upgraded physical level blueprint to bring that in and drop that down into the body to upgrade your physical body to make it easier for all of these beautiful energies that are coming to Earth, to really be able to feel and embrace it with ease and grace and joy and love and fun and community. Beautiful. Filling you up all the way to the tippy top. And we thank our record keepers for all the love, the guidance, the healing, and the upgrades. And we close and lock our group records and our records for now. And so it is. Must be.
And so it is.
Mhm.
So much came in while that was all going down. One of my messages at first was stay steady. And I thought that was really interesting. I would never tell myself to stay steady.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like, go forth, you know what to do, stay steady. I said it like 3 times, and I thought that was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, all right.
You might even look up the word root cause
Yeah,
of that word too.
I wonder,
Yeah.
because it seemed like it was really like loud and like booming, as you said. When some things are like loud and booming like that, I go, okay, all right, I'm listening. I'll stop being so
I love it. I love it. That's so cool.
ADHD. That's almost like the opposite of ADHD or something kind of vibe. Wow, I was also, as we go forth into being this embodied avatar, you know, it seems like it's going to soon even die off where we're requesting that these clay walls come down. It seems like, I mean, doing this for so long and especially having an experience with you where we did this 15 years ago and the conversations were so much more like contracted and tight. And now it's just so spacious. It's just truly an awareness of where the times are now.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. And again, I feel so excited. I
Yeah.
really
Yes,
do.
it's
I
so
can gather that
exciting.
from you too.
Yeah.
I could feel like your energy and it's like, oh, it's so cool. She's turning
Mhm.
70
Yeah.
because your energy is so youthful, so fun, and just the
Yes.
joy. You can feel it emanating from you. And I'm like, oh yeah, I love that because I know it's available for me, for Jenna,
Yes.
for all of us on this line.
Hmm.
And as a result of your, for the work that you've done, of course that you exude that, and that's beautiful.
Yes.
And to me, I actually say it because I really feel like it's important that we realize we have a lot of time here yet, and I feel that, oh, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like 120, and then I'm like, well, we'll see. But I really, really, really get that we are youthening, that these bodies will be changing. And some of what we're feeling is some of those changes. We're going from a base 10 state to a base 12 state, which is a
Yes.
very, very, very different energy. And
Mhm.
we're going from a I want to say from coal to crystal in a very basic
Yeah,
way. We're
that's
trying to
cute.
go, from only a couple strands of DNA to 12 strands of DNA. So all of that is, that's what we're noticing when we're
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. So you're
Mm.
like, give your body some love and some
Yeah.
grace.
Yeah. I
Right?
I just visited my Italian aunt who's 97 and she's out doing some little gardening still
that's so
and
wonderful.
it's just like there are these timeless people in our world that I think we can really gain some knowledge from their wisdom through the times too.
Right, right, right.
Hmm.
Yeah, my dad's
Yeah.
turned 97 and he's healthy and
Okay. Oh, wow.
lives
Oh,
in his
Great.
beautiful.
house.
Well, then you've got a long path to go still.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I really think a lot of this will transform for everyone. So that's very exciting. It's just,
She said,
I
I'll
think,
go. Yeah. She's like, I'll go to the doctor and they'll like look at my chart and this says you were born in 1928. And she's like, no, that's true.
That's cool.
Isn't that awesome? Like, I can only hope that, a doctor will someday look at me and go, this says that you were born in,
Yeah, I
right?
know. I know. Yes. I mean, we used to live 250 years.
All right.
There's
Right.
lots of lives, galactic lives,
Yeah.
where you live thousands of years. I mean, that's why we
Mhm.
kind of decided to make this weird little world to have a really
Mhm.
different experience.
Yes.
You
Well, I
know?
want to share your special offer, and I really I feel that we could talk forever
Yes.
for totally. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, so quantum healing to release emotional pain and trauma, because as much as I know that the karmic patterns are cleared in the higher realms, we are still um most of humanity is still experiencing a lot of emotional pain and trauma. And
Yes.
so basically, what I do with this program is I do pretty much example of what I just did. Bring
Mm.
you into this quantum akashic field, go through all these different pains and traumas. So if you scroll up, you'll see a little, or the other way, sorry, down that way. So right there's a whole session. I think they're about 2 hours, right, where I do childhood trauma healing. So
Mhm.
all of this is done. It's all recorded. It's all audio, actually. But all of this is done so you get to receive that healing. So I bring you into the Akashic Records with me. Your record keepers are helping out. We're bringing this through. And I think
Mm.
there's 6 sessions of these kinds of healing segments. So lots and lots. So if you're like, I am tired of this trauma, this pain, these programs, yeah, you could scroll down a little bit more. Let's see what. So this is childhood. Release emotional pain from past or present relationships. A lot of people hold on to the broken heart energies.
Yeah.
You know, attracted to narcissists, or all these kinds of
Done
things.
that.
They want to clear all of these patterns, and that's what this
Wow.
program does. It's just kind of
Wow, wow, wow.
pattern after pattern.
Just clearing one of those could change somebody's life and how they show up.
Because imagine if
Yeah.
you like myself, like when I was younger, I was attracted to narcissists, and I married one, and I probably didn't have to have all that much all
Yeah.
that going on if I had learned about this work a lot sooner, a lot earlier, even knew what a narcissist was, right? Like,
Mhm.
Right.
This is fabulous.
Right. So we have some health challenges we talk
Mhm.
about
Yeah.
that we can clear in the Akash. A lot of our health challenges come from emotional pain that's stuck in the physical body, and the physical body thinks, we want to experience this. And
Mhm.
so again, a lot of clearing, releasing unconscious beliefs that come from our ancestral lineage. You had mentioned that a little bit earlier. We can clear a ton of ancestral energy through the Akashic records. It's phenomenal. They just light up the fire and burn it out. It's very cool.
that is cool.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah. So the record keepers have given me all these very kind of fast, powerful tools to use. And so there's a pineal activation to help our
Ooh.
work better for us, right? So
Yes.
pineal, of course, is connected to your third eye and the crown chakra.
Intuition. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that helps that. And then we work
Mm-hmm.
with, trauma and connected addiction. So lots of
Mhm.
these different patterns are very connected to, how we're showing up in the world, what's coming to us, because we are magnets. So if we
Yes.
are
Yeah.
stuck in, abandonment, then people are going to abandon us, because that
Mhm.
is the way the universe works, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yep. Science has proved it.
Yep.
Yep. So all of that.
And you get rid of self-doubt, which,
Yeah.
dude, when I got rid of self-doubt, mostly,
Yes.
When I got rid of like
Except for that Friday
88% of
freaking out,
myself
right?
down.
Yeah. I got it.
But
But
that's
just even operating without having to doubt, just in a little bit, right? Like
yes,
you just open
agreed.
the door for a little bit, right? Like you, and then you start to, you have that cleared and you have that cleared. I mean, that can show up in your job, in your business, in the way you operate it, within your community. Like, think about how the symptoms could show
Yes.
up as positive if you have this available.
Yes. Yes. This looks
Right.
session 5, you guys. Check that out. That looks,
Yeah.
and
When
let,
we move into deservingness,
Yes.
deservability, right? Then you deserve
yes.
that raise. You deserve that,
Yes.
loving, kind, supportive relationship. You deserve abundance of all kinds, health
And you and your higher self can choose it too. And I think that that's even
Yeah.
greater than deserve in a way. It's
Ah,
fabulous.
right.
Love this.
Beautiful.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And
then
then
there's
you
some
get
of the
the
healing prayers and
mhm,
some of the tools. The golden egg with the rainbow shield is one of the
mhm,
meditations the
right.
record keepers have given us to help with that aspect of sovereignty, to own your physical body energy field and auric field. That's what that meditation does for you, is it helps you to be the sovereign. And so very, also very, very useful.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
And then and then if you would like a session, you get 25% off of a session, which could be invaluable too.
Absolutely.
And the summit offer is
Just
$88. Holy cow.
Wow.
Wow, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
The value is over $1,000, which is
Oh my goodness.
985.
I think it's way more than that
And
though.
so thank
It'll
you.
change your life. Another one that will truly change your life.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
You're
it's
looking
time to release all of these things. I just always feel like, part of why the three of us have come, and so many of you who are watching or listening at some point, is to help transform the world. And this is one of the ways that I'm able to do it. And so
yeah.
that's why I want to make it accessible. So
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Denise says, I have to say,
You
you
look
look extra gorgeous today. You both are glowing. Oh,
that's fabulous.
yes, yes. Or I guess,
All 3 of us are glowing.
I guess that's what that is. A new phrase, symptoms of change. I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe.
I do like that.
Lisa, it's very obvious that you, many people here on this summit have been obvious that they have doing this work from their heart. And it's so, such a contribution, and the gratitude we have for y'all. I mean, you've been, like I said, you've been doing this at a time where it was tough and a little bit like, unpopular. And, glad that the popularity is coming back around, right? I'm glad it's finally meeting us. And, there's a sense of validation that you might be having, but it doesn't matter. I can tell that you've been doing this because you have worked with the record keepers, and everyone knows that if you've been watching this show, I am a big advocate of the Akashic records and for us to be able to open our own records. And you have really brought forth this work, working with the record keepers.
Yes.
So bless you and the keepers. Thank y'all.
Yes.
Thank y'all so much.
Yes. Thank you for choosing to do this divine work,
That's
right?
what I'm saying. Yes.
Yes. Well, I just wanted everyone to really get it, because that's a courageous leap, especially when you chose it. I thought when I chose it in 2006, I thought I was like an OG.
Yeah, she's been doing this since she was 13.
I all that.
Learned today.
I got that.
KD says, wow, what a wonderful package. It covers every aspect. Yes, yes, it does. Yes, it does. Thank you, Lisa.
Oh, it is such a pleasure. And thank you, both of you for having me back. I always enjoy our time together so much. I'm so grateful that you share this energy with the Akashic records. And it's, because, and of course, Jenna, so long ago, it was so cool
Yes.
So cool.
Yes.
back then. And yeah, I mean, it just gets easier and easier. So
And I have to say, both of y'all have aged in reverse, like just outside looking in. Like it really, like that does happen, people.
Yes.
It
I
does.
feel like it's true. I mean, I feel like I'll look back even in the middle somewhere, like maybe 2015. And I know there's different filters, but I also look in the mirror and go, I'm not that same person. No. Yeah.
That transformational work transforms us.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does. And
Body
that's just the easy byproduct of it all.
Hey, the Kardashians, Kim Kardashian says she spends $1 million on her beauty, a year on her beauty routine.
Yeah.
And you two ladies just found good work. I love that. Bottle that up for y'all.
Yep.
Let's see. It says, thank you, Reverend Lisa. You are a literal library. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Information. Thank you,
You
Reverend.
look like a librarian. I play this Genshin Impact game, and there's a librarian named Lisa who like actually has, I should send you some pictures of it because you do quite look like her, the little librarian in the, yeah, you kind of have that archetype look.
Let's see.
I love it. That's hysterical.
Like, let's see. I've seen a lot of
Unfiltered.
Katie says she's seen a lot of people aging in reverse now. That's
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so
So
much.
much,
Do you have
Lisa.
any
My
words for us
goodness.
today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you soon. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Let me stop this recording just real quick. There we go. And we're going to start another one right here. Hey guys. Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Jennifer Blackert.
And I'm Leonka Reyna.
This is the How Hustle Mystic Morning Show. Today we have hit the last session of our summit number 6. And here that we all are and in the presence that we are, I thought it would be really fun to play in an energetic way as the embodied avatar that you've come to be. And in doing so, I for myself, acknowledging that I actually am that, I feel is the biggest leap and the biggest leap of faith that one could have at this point. So if you go in, and I'm just going to ask you some questions, and Leonka will play as things come through. Leonka is a true channel and can channel in almost any moment at any time when you ask her to do so. So she'll do probably some channeling today. I play with the Arcturians or Metis, which is a collective guardian dragon collective that specifically supports planet Earth on helping us with the ascension into the 5th, 6th, and 7th dimension. So we'll play a little bit here, but mostly we want this to be an invitation for if we are aligned to be your next guiders, we would love to have this be an invitation where you'll have an offer to join us in our inner circle, you know, as we complete this. Okay.
I love when Jeanette gets real quiet, like when you can tell when her timing of her words, when something's coming through that's really powerful. So if y'all ever see that happening, just hold on for a second because you're about to get some goodness.
Yeah. The Arcturians first says that they are honored to be here in our presence. We are honored to be heard. So just welcome you into this space, into this circle, to become the you that is guiding you to become. You know what is calling you next. You know what you're being guided to, and yet you still hesitate. We'll work on you to clear some of these patterns that are keeping you in this lockdown, in this stuck down, in what you call the system and the OG per Jeneth. So come play with us because we are going to unearth the earth.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's like
They want-
planet shakers.
Yes, they want to remind you that this is more a frequency and less words.
Take a deep breath.
When we started this business in 2024, and we've shared a clip, you had the opportunity to see where we were then in 2024 and our invitation to work with spiritual entrepreneurs. And as you can see today, yes, do we work with spiritual entrepreneurs, help them grow their business? Absolutely. But I really believe our mission here on the planet is to help those star seeds unlock their mission to help us, all of us, the we that we be of this ascension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many times it looks like individuals who have maybe this calling to come to a community where they're finally like, oh, I'm finally seen, or I'm finally heard, or oh, they just talk about this woo stuff and I've been curious. And what we have found is that even through participating, whether you are a part of our inner circle, which we call Mystique Society, or if you are just showing up on replays and on the demand of iPods, or if you're showing up live, that what you do is you're joining a community and you make up the best part of all of this mission. And that is to keep your light ignited, it is to learn more about your own self and your own sovereignty. It is to do things like hear from Lisa, who had, works with us to open our records, or to walk with me through learning how to open your own records and doing that on a daily. But no matter what those, however you continue to join us, or if you go and, join other communities, whatnot, that you take a piece of this, and we'll use the word enlightened.
Yeah.
You take the piece of this lighter self of you
Mhm.
that ignites others, and that you would just simply step and give yourself, first off, permission to be that authentic self that you were always meant to be, that divine right to have things be good and great again in your life.
Yeah.
That choosing of yourself more so from a place of I love me finally,
Mm.
or I just want to find me finally.
Yes.
That where we come from, no matter where you start from, that you can just choose you, or choose to explore you. And what we have found is that many times when people choose to just, they come because they choose to explore themselves, or a topic, and that usually leads them to finding out that, oh, I have this creative ability, or oh, I really love, painting on pots and doing clay, and I've been getting these really beautiful downloaded symbols to put on there. Oh, I realized that I've activated these symbols, and when people place these beautiful pieces of art in their homes are activated, and that usually they've been called to buy my beautiful pieces of artwork, and then they realize with working with us that they also have
Other gifts.
other gifts, and they've monetized that, and we've shown them how to put that on, the internet. But it started with, let me just ask you to explore you,
Yes.
and then let me ask you, well, why aren't you wanting to explore you if something's coming up? And so this uncovering has led to, yes, we work with entrepreneurs, but it's really started at the individual level. And it starts where it can just be a curiosity of you wanting to explore more of what is out there and what's available for you in this journey of life. Because you have you for all of your life. So it's a beautiful time to learn about how we can be more of ourselves. But first off, learn about ourselves.
Yes. And acknowledge
In
ourselves.
this body, in this avatar embodiment. And as we can explore that, or just at least give ourselves permission to utilize some of this curiosity as that.
Yes. Yes. Oh my goodness. I woke up this morning and there will be a letter that comes to you tomorrow about this offering today. And it's an offering, it's an invitation. And I really do look at it that way. And I wrote about the messages were coming through about wanting. And when I started thinking about wanting, I remember being in a class and being almost accosted for saying something like, I want this, I want this, I want this. Accosted.
Like naughty, naughty?
Naughty, naughty.
Okay.
Like, almost by what I can't call a cult leader kind of vibe.
Okay.
And I was thinking about it and I was playing with the dragons on it. And what really came through was that is where this all begins. You've got to want something different in your life. I mean, it starts there, even if that's, quote, the wrong vibe to be putting out. I truly believe that we need to follow those wants to then craft them and change the frequency to a true heart's desire.
Yeah.
And say fucking yes to ourselves.
If nothing else, you know what you don't want,
Yes.
right? And I guess I've been accosted as well, as well.
Yeah, for wanting.
Or walking around and talking about, well, I don't want this, and I don't want that. Well, okay, fine. Lots of people have that, right? And so it's like, well, cool, I got that. And there, a lot of the thought is don't complain. I get why we wouldn't want to use those words because I'm calling more of that in.
Yeah.
But at the core of it, identifying what you don't want or what you do want stems from what your heart's desire is. And I see yes, 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 and hell yes.
Yes. And the chat is going nuts.
Yes, stems from your heart's desire.
Yeah.
And usually that's a little bit of a curiosity that's like, I know I don't want to live like this.
Yeah.
I know I don't want to wake up and feel like I feel like I want to throw up because I know that I'm going to get into work. They're going to talk about numbers. They're going to talk about stuff that they're going to talk about how poorly we're doing because the economy's down and this
and all the lies that they want to present in front of you to justify why it's not going to the plan.
Right.
No.
Or, you're this far off of plan, right? Or you did really great last month. You did real great. What's up with this month? Right.
Yeah.
And feeling like, okay, this used to be great, but it is time for this to change.
Yep.
I've been studying something new. I've been having something stir my heart. And I know that there's something that myself connected to my source, God has been calling me to do, and I'm not doing it.
Mhm.
And so I feel like I'm dying. I feel like I'm sick.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm hunched over and I can't do this again. I cannot do this again. I can't do life this way again. And when you have those little, and so you heard all those can'ts. You said you heard all the
Yeah,
things I
but
didn't want, but it stemmed from
see where it comes.
a seed of desire.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
and so when I could identify that, when you can identify that just from the first, you can ignite a seeking within yourself. For
Mhm.
me, it was deciding, fine, I'm going to seek out, how do I become a life coach?
Yeah, you did. I even had your manual in my office for the longest time.
My life coach manual. Oh, I love that so much.
Yeah.
And then I'll seek out people who I want to work with, like Jen showed up in my life. You know, we follow those, what Jenna calls whispers.
Yes.
And those whispers usually start as a want or a desire or a don't want or a
I mean,
don't.
and those are the
Yeah.
definitions that we can say is wrong, and we need to not look at them. But I think that we might need to look at them. And so I'm changing my mind, right? Words are codes. We will continue to say that. Words manifest, yes.
Absolutely.
And it's okay for a cult leader to say certain things, but us to know differently, because I was told, don't say you want it, it means you lack it. And I feel
understand why
like
they
that
say that.
even made me go away from even, quote, wanting it.
Aw.
And I feel like it screwed me a little bit.
Yeah.
It might not have been their purpose or their intention, but it misdirected me. And then I began just being a puppet along the way and say, well, want means to lack, want means to lack. And I find that in this work, as we create change and in this change movement that we have here at How Hustle, I want us to call each other out when we feel icky about something, so that, we don't get trapped with every single word.
And she means by
Mhm.
calling out, she means just it doesn't come from a place of judgment,
Yeah.
but just being able to say, look, this is how I'm feeling.
Feeling for
So,
real.
you know,
Like,
us
don't put
coming
a
out.
pretty facade over it necessarily.
And us coming from a place of love around that acknowledgement.
Mhm.
If something is feeling off for you and you heard it from a cult leader and you're like, hey, I heard this from a cult leader, blah, 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 and it is not really sitting right with me. And you voice that to the community, and then we can come from a place of love and be like, well, first of all, we all have our different signature resonance. So it may be true.
Yeah.
What may be true for one may not be true for all. And the other thing is that, well, yeah, I kind of see it that way too. You know how
Mhm.
what the fake it till you make it think, how we're kind of looking at that and examining that
Yep.
in real time.
Yeah.
You know, that's another example of how we can as a community really see things in different ways instead
Mhm.
of just accepting, what one guru told us.
Yes. You'll often see that in the chat, there be words that somebody will say, and I only do it with the Mystique members. And so they'll say, make some conclusion like life is hard, or, blah, blah, blah. That's a simple example. And I'll be like, well, it can be hard if you choose
And
it to
usually
be.
they're like, yeah,
And they're like, oh, I know. I don't know why I even said that. They'll say cliche things, and I'll be like typing quietly back while we're having a conversation. So know that this offering that we're about to share with you is really to even kind of coach with us every Tuesday and Thursday too, where you get to be on a Zoom like this, and you get to get your questions answered from the speaker, and you get to be in the chat, and I get to bother you, right? Lightly bother you. But it's the biggest wedgies that make people move forward, I found. So And we also have a mastermind group every single month. It's that kind of group. And
That's
we have
actually gonna
Mhm.
get super upgraded. So
Yep.
we're super excited about what we
Yes.
have planned for this master. They don't even know yet. Like they know, but
I
they kind
know.
of don't know.
We keep telling them, and they're like, yeah, sure, you've been talking about this membership, but it's our own app system. So it is taking a little bit to create. But yeah, they're going to have their own little community even to yap in,
Have privacy.
all day, every day. It's open
And
24/7.
it's not on social. It's not on
Nope.
social media.
Nobody else will see it but somebody in the membership.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's see. Dana says, yes, follow your joy. I
Mhm.
love this. I love what she wrote here. Okay.
Okay.
It says, yes, follow your joy and your purpose starts to unfold.
Yep.
Like when I took that first life course, and then I asked myself, what's the fastest way to, get into a new, to infiltrate a new industry? Because to my brain was like, oh, life coach industry, right? Because I worked in PR and marketing, and that was life coaching was the furthest thing. Now it's not, but
Yeah.
from that, and I was like, I don't know. Let me go meet some life coaches.
Yeah,
And
they thought you wanted to have a whistle back then, kind of feeling like our true coach, right?
right,
Like
right.
rah rah.
What's a
rah,
life
rah, rah.
coach? Do you have, right? I mean, you have a coaches that were like on the field with your whistle. But what's a life coach? So I went to my first life coach, business life coach session. And
Mhm.
Jeneth happened to be up at the front of the room talking.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden I hear a booming voice that says, you're gonna work with her. And I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna work
Then
with.
she stalked me.
And then I go, oh, I'm gonna work with her. I mean, I've only heard this booming voice like a couple of times in life, and let me tell you, they're the times that have changed the whole trajectory of my life.
Mm.
So then I find out, I listened to the summit that she was holding, and I hear on the summit that she is gonna have a live event. So I'm like, well, I know about live events. I know about the things that she's talking about. Maybe she needs some help. Maybe she needs a volunteer.
Mhm.
And so she called me. I called her a couple of times. I emailed her, and
Yeah.
because that's what I knew to do. And she said, oh, fine, come over.
Yeah.
And I met with her and I found some holes in what she was doing. And I said, I know how to do those things. And she ended up hiring me on the spot, and she became my first client.
Yeah.
And I didn't even have business cards yet.
No. We're going in reverse.
I know.
Yeah.
But what I'm telling you is that that all happened because I knew what I didn't want.
Mhm.
I knew what I wanted to change my life. I knew that I wanted something different. And now I'm sitting here,
Mhm.
work wives, that's funny. I love that.
Yeah.
Now I'm sitting here with you lovely people. And
Mhm.
I never even dreamed that this could be possible. Like I never even dreamed that, we would have
No.
we would have Mystique members that would meet us here in Austin, Texas, and then their
Yeah.
stories and what they've overcome
Mhm.
because they've been a part of this community would move my heart
Yeah.
so
Oh
much
my gosh.
that I'm so fueled
Yeah.
by, finding out someone didn't really like to leave their house much to taking their first flight to come and be with us.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
me.
And then just her watching her whole world unravel after
And how
that.
much
It's beautiful.
she's losing herself, like how much she's like learning so many other things with other
Mm.
people and other coaches. And then
We had somebody fly all the way from the north that was completely blind.
yeah, and she's so like with it, like she's
Yep.
so cool, like she's my idol, like my
I went out to dinner with her.
yeah, like super cool.
Yeah.
And she's loving life, and she
Mhm.
these are the real types of transformations that have been available. It's hard to even think that Jeneth and I have been working together in this capacity for only 2 years, because
Mm.
these transformations, and that we didn't really even start the Mystique till
No,
like about a
yeah.
year in.
Right.
So she's only been a member for what, a year?
Year
So
and a
that,
half. Yeah.
like that's a whole nother like she's a new person
Yep.
and
I
continues to
think
be new
almost all
people.
of them that are rallying are feel like they're new
Yes, they
people.
do.
Yeah.
And yes, and like another Mystique member's story, like she's like she is so spiritual, and like gets all of these different every time she goes outside she sees a dragon in the clouds, like what, like cool, and she's able
We're
to
dragons together. I
And
see
she's
that
able
too.
to share that with us, and we're able to see these really cool pictures that she
Mhm.
shares with us that activate us in a way, and we could talk about those things, and then we can share them with each other in ways that I didn't even know was possible.
No,
Like
no,
I
we
didn't know
had
it was
this.
possible. I didn't know it was possible to have other people like me that to exist in this world.
No, there was
And it's so cool.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, they can really truly surrender and just follow the flow and the conversation. You know, it's like, I saw this license plate that said vibing up as soon as I was going somewhere to vibe up, basically, and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
was
You know,
going
they
to
see the signs
yeah.
and they share the signs, and we can all celebrate the signs. I mean, it's simply true a growth community, for the lack of a better word, right? It's an ascension community. It's a change agency.
Yeah. KD says, work wives, your beautiful lights draw people in. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Like I
Yeah.
I hope that whenever we're this ignited, that it can ignite you as well. Um, and that you could take that light out into the world and just ignite maybe one other person's light just by being you walking around the store.
Yes.
Because
Right.
that's how it works.
Absolutely.
Dana says, saw the license plate. Oh my, this is my number right here. 44444 last
Yeah.
week. And then zeros yesterday, like 00000. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And when I see little things like that come over the text and stuff, like, I'm like, yeah, okay, I know. Like, I know this is really what my heart has been calling me to do. Like, it's just an affirmation from like a little spirit wink, like, I got you. I
Yeah.
got you. Were you trying to doubt me today? I got you. I'm like, I know. And it just like it lights me up.
Yeah.
Let's see. Joe says a testimony from my experience with Jonathan Leonka has been life changing.
Mm.
I wouldn't believe it if I hadn't experienced it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe. Oh,
Thank you
Joe.
for bringing us along the experience with you,
Yes.
because that's been rewarding for us to watch. I mean, his surrender and ease with things. When life really hit him hard, he didn't spiral down.
No.
He went up. You know, it just made him more powerful. And, you know, it's just, it's wild to watch.
I mean,
Mhm.
and these are the people that I like, not that I do it all the time, but because I hear the stories firsthand. Like I light my prayer candle and with you in mind.
Yeah. Well, I
And then I
texted one
hear-
of our members this morning. I was like, how's it going as your body today?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. I
you know,
mean,
because I feel like I'm connected, and why stop myself when it like comes through?
right,
Yeah.
right. And I know
Yeah.
that
I mean, there's some times where it's like, no, this isn't right now, or I can wait to respond, you know, but sometimes my heart's just like, okay, I'm going to ask.
yeah.
And sometimes I'll hop on the phone with people and be like, you know, the people ask a question about an offer or something, and I'll just jump on the phone. And it may not always be like that, but it is right now.
Yeah.
And it's
I think it's gonna
really
grow.
dynamic,
I know
because it's going to,
Well, I know it's gonna
fun.
deepen.
It's like
And
navigating.
yeah,
Mhm.
Dana says our activations of each other
Yes.
really shows in our interconnectedness.
Yes.
Absolutely. Like,
Mhm.
I didn't see Dana jump on the on our live shows, and I was like, "Where's Dana?"
Mm.
And so I was like, "I wonder if she's okay," but
Yeah.
it's because we had switched our little system and
System.
stuff. And then I didn't see somebody else, and I mean, literally, these are the people that we're looking for because
Yeah.
we are that interconnected.
Yeah.
And we are activated by each other's light, and I hope that you get that from
Mhm.
watching the show
Yeah.
all the time.
It's real. I mean, we're not sitting here trying to fake it.
No, it's real. It's real, real.
Hours every
And
day.
we're real people for real.
And we have our wife fights, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. You know, but you know, and then we have such profound experiences like this week, and then we're better again.
You're so funny. She thinks because we had a disagreement like the first, that it's like a big deal, and I'm like, yeah, we've always been good.
No, just
I
I'm
know she's
just
teasing.
sharing that
I
it's
know
not
she's
all
teasing.
it's not everything is perfect.
It's yes, absolutely. And we have our our own lives that we are both navigating, but we also have many more stories of these really cool mystical things that
Yeah.
happen, that when we come in, like, I know that I can look at her face and shit and I'm like, what?
Oh yeah,
She's like, dude. And I'm like,
I-
what? And
But-
that's the cool thing that we have with
Yeah.
our community members as well.
Just so you know that this started quite strongly in 2006 for me. I was in a surgery, and basically I woke up and when my life was different. And I've written a novel about it in a cute, cheeky kind of way. It's fiction. It's not my detail specifically, but it does start with the quote, what if you did wake up one moment and couldn't remember your life? Who would you really be? And that was sort of a moment that happened to me where I, walked in different than what I went into the surgery as, not just, from the surgery, but truly as a being. And I didn't know, and there was chaos. And it took years for me to unwind the chaos on what was going on with this awakening, so to speak. And it was like 5 years later that Leonka entered my life. So there's a lot of like chaos and untangling. And I really want to help some of the star seeds out there
Yeah.
get out of this chaos, get out of this entangling, because it's not, it doesn't have to be as dramatic as I had it, for sure. So I want to answer any questions that you might have as we go through the Mystique Society, which is our inner circle. And we are giving away 2 bonuses today for early birds that choose it between now and next Tuesday. So thank you, Cindy. She's like, thank you so much for sharing this beautiful platform and community. Thank you. So I'm just going to pull it up like I pull up the other offers, and we're going to talk about it for a second here. Um, but what it is, I mean, and you'll know if you're called probably from the time you read the first sentence, right? If you're called, this is the calling, right? Um, you know, we are giving away the first month for free. Um, and it is kind of a, if you really aren't sure, I would hope that you by now, after a whole summit, you would be sure. Email us at team@Hustle and we'll get that set up for you. If you feel like you want to sample this before you dive in, because this is a deep program and we're really inviting those people that want to go on a deeper journey. So what do you get when you join? You get access to our entire summit library. This is our 6th season. We're doing 4 this year. This is the second one that we've done this year. So by the end of the year, you'll have 2 other summits at least. The next, I think there might be 3.
There's gonna be more than 4 actually, because
We
we moved.
shifted.
Yeah, we did. We were
And-
doing once a quarter, but we decided to do them more often.
Yeah.
So lucky you.
The
You
next
get them all.
The next one starts June 15th, by the way, if you are already wanting to mark your calendar.
And it doesn't stop. So we have Tuesday, we're having Talon.
Yes. Well, this summit isn't done, right?
Yeah.
It's more like a season now. So day 6 is on Tuesday.
I love it.
Yeah. Oh, and it's going to be a great one. She's like a social media phenomenon when people listen to her all day,
So we
every
meet
day.
for an hour on Tuesday, and we meet for another hour on
Yeah.
Thursday. So it's every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m.
Just
So-
for an hour.
Yeah.
We don't do it all day. You also, so you get the entire Summit video libraries, like all of them, every single time while you're a member.
And they're always, like you continue to get them. Like,
Yes.
and that right there is worth the, what is it?
Well, technically, if you buy it individually on this summit, it's $97.
You already paid for your,
almost your
monthly thing.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So,
no-brainer.
you also get 10% off speaker special offers. We give you a code. We if you slide out, please don't use the code, right? But we do trust it on an honor system currently.
So if you buy $200 programs, that's $20 off, right?
Yeah, right
If
there.
you're thinking of getting anything on the summit now, right?
Right. You also get a priority questions when we have a big speaker, and there's a big audience. You're the first to get to raise your hand and get called upon. We do that to grow the community, but we also do it because we're part of each other's story, and we really want the to support the community that is invested in this community. We also, Lianka and I are both coaches and mentors.
Very, very different, a whole bunch
We're-
of different modalities. So we're
Yes.
trained in a lot of different things, and we're both certified hypnotherapists.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
No, yeah, we're both hypnotherapists. She does past life regression. I work mostly with the dragons on change work. Sometimes that's physical healing. I work on bodies, but that's not included here.
Yeah, so I do quantum hypnotic healing
Mhm.
as taught by Dolores Cannon. So if you've ever heard of QHHT, and if you haven't, definitely check it out.
Yeah.
But that is what my my readings, my long form readings are on, and then sometimes shorter form is on the Akashic.
So my hypnotherapy sessions are $350 just for a single virtual session where they get the audio of the hypnosis as well. So that is so it's a huge discount. If you do want to work with us once, or you want to work with us monthly and get in a monthly program, this does say one, but I open up this price point for these members currently. If they say tomorrow, I'd like a session with you, that's the price that I'll honor. We don't want it in print because that may change. So that's what that looks like. We put a few testimonials and weaved it through here. Here's the big enchilada, though.
Okay.
You're like, okay, tell them about the enchilada.
No, I was going to read the testimonial, but
It's okay. We every single month we come into a community and we truly, it's a mastermind. I usually will come up with a topic, or Lianka will come up with a topic, and we will start and open the gates for either the Akash to flow or the dragons to flow or something within the field to flow. And that is truly how we create. So, so that's what those 2 hour sessions, and we have to limit it to 2 hours usually.
Oh,
because we could literally, it is just a fun gossipy session.
You say gossipy.
I know, I gossip. She has like, I think of gossipy as like the cheeky gossip girls, maybe, but I
think of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, like,
yes,
No,
it's not like cat fighting. It's more like
no, it's sharing. It really is sharing. It's a sharing of these really beautiful mystical minds. And
Yes.
whenever, I don't know if you've ever heard this, but when you are in the presence of others, you become you become those who you surround yourself with. Now, the beautiful thing about being around other mystical minds is because many people have different forms of their clairs. And when you are around others that have maybe their clair audio or audience in stereo, then you will then have that activated within you. So, for example, I work with a lot of my vision. I mean, I have all clairs, but as I channel and as I receive information, many times the group will tell me, I saw that too, or I got that too. And so they'll come out and say what versions that they've gotten, extra pieces of the pie. You see, we're all different because we're all different signature resonance. And
Mhm.
when we come together, it ignites that within us. And so we're able to really pull forth more of this beautiful gifts and have them come online and alive for ourselves, for each other. And then we get to take that out into the world. So
Yes.
it's really, really cool. And I
Absolutely.
learned so much from the members as well. For example, we'll talk about how we use the pendulum in our everyday lives, or how someone will talk about how they use the different glyphs that they're getting in picture form in their lives, and so and share that with the group. Like, it is a very really cool way of operating through life with our regular things that we go through and share about them. And then we get to examine those and work with those in a very more different, beautiful way. And then many times we'll leave that call and I'm like, damn, that was a good call. Like, dang,
Yeah, I
am
know.
floating. I am
Next day,
yes.
usually.
Like, especially, and it's always cool because sometimes that'll be like, I was having a funky week to start off with. And then you'll get on the call and you leave the call and you're like, wow,
Yeah.
I feel amazing.
Yeah.
So that has been such a really cool like side gift,
Yeah.
a good symptom.
Yeah. Just to address the question on the chat, Elaine, the code is in the first welcome email. And Katie does say it, I think it's at the bottom of the welcome email. Just give that welcome email a read through. It's in there. And if you need anything or you need us to resend it, just message the team.
Katie says, beautiful hearts and minds in the group.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you.
is. It is a great, it's a
It
great
is.
group. Every time a new member comes in, I'm like, oh, a little skeptical about them. But I found that if I say, when you're called to this group,
Yep.
it's deep. And it's not expensive or anything. Don't worry. I know this is a lot. But
Yep, just 30
yeah, it's 37 a month. Yeah, it says it here somewhere, I thought.
at the top.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Start
Yes.
today.
Start
And your first
today.
month is free.
Yes, except for you.
Complimentary.
Yeah. Email us. I think that Carol, she might have changed the form, but email us if you do want a free trial if you're unsure. You can also, in this form, I believe it goes to an annual, and the annual is a very special price point at 111 a month.
A month?
No, sorry.
Each payment
No,
for 6 months.
yes. I don't know. It's
111
it's
for
like
6
a
months.
really great price.
It's so the whole program is 211, and for the first 6 months, it's just one
Yeah.
payment of 111. So if you were thinking about getting the VIP pass, which is $97,
Yep.
I would definitely get into the Mystique, because you get all of the previous summits included in your bonuses. Plus,
Yeah.
you get much more bonuses, and you get to join the Mystique and join our Wednesday calls every second Wednesday of the month.
Yes.
And then you'll be invited into the new app once that goes live as well. So lots of ways for support, lots of beautiful things that you get with just being a member. And if nothing else, because there's tons in there, but if nothing else, everybody's become friends in that community, and we genuinely care about how each other's doing. And we get to navigate with our gifts online.
Yeah.
And that's a much more beautiful way to navigate this world and create the things that we want. And of course, we can use your one-on-one time, and we can help with all of those things for starting a business as a spiritual entrepreneur. But if you're just wanting to figure out, well, first, who am I as a spiritual person?
Yeah. And
We
how
can
do I
help with that
navigate
too.
star seed?
Yeah. Energy.
Yeah.
So whether you want to talk about marketing your woo business, or whether you want to talk about, am I woo? And I feel like I'm a dragon, then
But
we
yeah,
got you.
I can identify that. I can even show you what they look like and everything through hypnosis, by the way, which is kind of cool.
Or if you just want to find out, why do I keep having this pattern come up? And is
Yeah.
it from a past life? We can help you with that.
Yeah, we do some somatic work on that for sure. So it's an invitation. The link is houthustle.com/join. That's houthustle.com/join. I will, if I can, put it here. No, I don't know. It's like rejecting me.
Denise says, thank you for an amazing summit. Thank you for being a part of our summit. Thank you for
Yes.
coming back and continue to
Yeah.
be a part of this community through and through, whether that's through the Mystique or for joining us every Tuesday and Thursday on the live calls or on demand.
Mm-hmm.
And then comment.
Yeah,
share.
comment, like, subscribe is our mantra for all of this that we always forget to say. But yeah, if we love having you in the community, whether you're in the inner circle or not. We know that the inner circle is not for everyone. Like, this is truly for those that are called, period.
Yeah.
So, but we thank you for your presence and playing with us.
And for changing the world.
Yes. And until next Tuesday,
we're How Hustle,
reminding you to take a little time to enjoy the woo.
Have a great one, y'all.
Thank you, guys.